What up, everybody? Welcome to Middays with Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic. On the radio, 97.5 FM WPEN, Burlington, Philadelphia. Good morning. Good morning if you're listening on the 97.5 The Fanatic app. Perhaps you're at home and you say, Alexa, 97.5 The Fanatic. Boom! You're listening to us. Good morning to everybody watching on YouTube. You can watch the show live every day. You can go back and watch on demand whatever you want. Features from the show, interviews like Bob Nightingale coming up at 11 o'clock on the Phillies trade deadline. Just make sure you subscribe to 97.5 The Fanatic on YouTube. And you know what? Follow me on all social medias. At John, Jon, Marks, M-A-R-K-S Media. At John Marks Media. Also on YouTube. Subscribe to me as it's a two-man show today. We have Dutz and Negative Nate in the back. But it's a two-man show today as Sean Brace is on assignment down the Jersey Shore. We say good morning to King Ray. Ray Dunn. Good morning, Ray.
On assignment packing the car today. Remember his strategy? I'm taking the day before vacation so that I don't get yelled at.
That was last year when I was off. The last week when I was off. Yeah. I don't remember if we talked about that.
Yes, he broke down the strategy. He takes off the day before vacation so he can begin getting yelled at earlier, and he can figure out how to get the car packed before the day they go on vacation.
That's a good strategy.
Yeah, I actually don't hate it.
Why not get yelled at for an extra day?
Yeah. Well, if you don't get yelled at the first day of vacation and you save that for before vacation, vacation's even more of a bliss.
I actually thought they were leaving today. Well, listen, any time off is good time off. So I mean, people need it. So if you want to spend the day getting yelled at before you go on vacation, then go for it.
That's the way that your vacation needs to go.
I got to tell you, I did a really good job packing this year. We were boom. Because we have a minivan, which holds a decent amount. But all the other stuff, and we're done with, because Bella's 5, my youngest is 5, so we don't have to pack the pack and plays and all the baby stuff. It's like, no, like that's all over with. But we have a lot of crap. So I have the thing on top of the car. Not the hard case, but the soft case. And you can fit a lot of stuff up there, man. So I'm up on the roof of the Sienna, the minivan, on Saturday morning, and I'm putting stuff in, and I'm zipping it up, and I'm strapping it. Man,
we used to do the Outer Banks week, and you put one of those up there and do the entire drive down. I remember the stress of those mornings. That was a morning where you just didn't say anything to the parents. You just kind of
honestly, we didn't fight at all. And normally that is the stress of packing the car and the kids and everything else. We were smooth this year. We were ready. We were prepared.
There you go.
She did a lot of the packing and things like that. I mean, it was a good week. Right?
Well-oiled machine.
And we need a live update from Sean as he's getting yelled at.
Has he asked to have a beer yet today?
Sean at the airport with the stress of having 2 young kids, including Lane, who was 6 months old at the time, taking the plane for the first time, asked Kelly for a beer at 7 o'clock in the morning. And was surprised at the response.
Sitting there trying to get blitzed at 7 a.m. with his 2 kids.
Oh, it's so funny. All right, well, listen, this could be a good day, right? As we try to reestablish the station here post-LeBron, all right, and I feel like since I've joined the station in October, not that it wasn't great before, because of course it was great before, but it's starting to feel like more of the Fanatic that I helped start. And we're trying to get the phone calls getting back in. As Ray and Sean developed a whack pack when I was off. I don't even know what the hell happened.
Segment. Chaz, Gary, hello, guys.
I mean, I'm envious. We need whack packers. So today's a good day to get in on the phone lines at 610-632-0975 on the Davis Honda text line. So if you put your name and location, we may read your text. But if you leave a voice memo on the Davis Honda text line, we will play it. So send the voice memos, not too short, not too long, just right. Leave your name and location. And Sean likes the occupation if you want to leave your occupation, which is totally fine. So just send the voice memo. We play them kind of like a phone call. So there's a lot of ways to get in. But, I mean, man, the trade deadline's coming up here in less than a week. We're going to have Bob Nightingale coming up at 11 o'clock. He's always got juicy rumors to put out there, so we'll see what he has to say. But it's pretty clear to me that Dave Dombrowski needs to make an impact move. What does that exactly mean? It can't be a reliever or two. I don't think they need an impact starter. I don't want a starting pitcher, depending on if Zach Wheeler has an elbow problem, then maybe I want them to do that. But this lineup needs an impact bat. They lose last night to the Marlins. They were feeble at the plate again. They wasted a good pitching performance by Aaron Nola. So Ray gave me these stats before the show started. So far this year, the Phillies have scored 2 or less runs 39 times. How many games have they played? 110?
108.
108. So in 108 games, they've scored 2 runs or less 39 times. They're 5-34 in those games, as you may expect. You score 2 or even if you have great starting pitching, 2 or fewer runs, they're 5-34. They've scored 1 run or less an incredible 26 times this season. I don't know what their record is there. I can't imagine it's very good. And they scored 3 or more runs. That would be 69 times. And they're 52-17 in those games. So break it down. If the team scores 3 runs or more, they're 52-17. If the Phillies don't score 3 runs or more, they're 5-34. So it's pretty obvious that this team needs help on offense. And you know who this goes on, and he's going to have the trade deadline to correct it? It's Mr. We have a good club.
I think we have a good club.
Dave Dombrowski. Everybody else knew what the problem was with the Phillies. And he showed such lack of urgency in the offseason until Bo Bichette almost landed in his lap by mistake. And then they couldn't make that happen. And quite frankly, I don't know what Bo Bichette's doing for this lineup right now. This team lives and dies with Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper. And if they're not hitting, this team's not scoring runs. Trey Turner? Alec Boehm is Alec Boehm. Bryson Stott is Bryson Stott. The Trey Turner signing may go down as what kills this team's best chances of winning a World Series. They need an impact bat in this lineup. And you know what? Like, you hear the term go all in and do all that. I don't know who the player is. I don't know if Byron Buxton's willing to waive the no-trade clause. I don't know what impact bats are available out there. But if Dave Dombrowski isn't trying to correct what he screwed up in the offseason, then this team's not going anywhere.
We have a good club.
They need confidence in that clubhouse. When they look like this, and it's far too often, you pretty much have no chance. You didn't have to watch the game last night. You really, really didn't. You saw what you saw early, and it's like, okay, they're not getting hits. They're not going to get hits. This is what we're doing right now. This is the lineup right now. This is what they look like when Rob Thompson lost his job. The offense wasn't scoring runs. They lacked confidence. They looked pathetic offensively. But then their starting pitching wasn't good because they had injuries. And really what happened was the starting pitching got healthy. Don Mattingly came up and they got a little bit of a wake-up call, and that's how they surged. We're right back to where we were when the team sucked at the beginning of the season.
I'm down on the Phillies.
And you're not going to fire Don Mattingly because that's really what, if you fired the manager again, you might get a little bit of a bump. But ultimately, by the end of the season, you're going to be right back where you are, which is a team that doesn't have enough offensive firepower. And your bullpen's not good enough to where you can win a lot of 3-2 games in the playoffs. Sorry. They need offense. This goes on Dombrowski. It drives me nuts. That press conference where he had his feet up on the table and he was saying, we won a World Series if. Well, if the Dodgers did this, if the umpire, if this, we have a good club. He was so content. Didn't he? What word did he use, Ray? Content?
Comfortable.
Comfortable. He was so fine with what they had and not doing anything else. And you know what? I said, I need urgency. What would Ruben Amaro do? I can tell you what Ruben wouldn't have done. Ruben wouldn't have sat on his hands and not made any moves. He would have brought somebody in because the team needed it. This offense needed it because we're right back where we were when the season ended. Does anybody actually believe this lineup's going to be good enough in the playoffs? Anybody? They need a major move. They need bullpen help, and they need an impact bat if it's out there, and I don't know if it's out there. So this one right now, like this season, Mr. Hall of Famer Dave Dombrowski, and Ruben Amaro Jr. is not the GM and president that Dave Dombrowski is as far as the career. But I know Ruben would be aggressive in trying to go out because he knows there's a window of opportunity to win. If Dave Dombrowski's lack of urgency might end up costing this team. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. As I mentioned, Bob Nightingale, you think he's got something juicy for us today there, Ray? We were just going to have Ray as Bob Nightingale on the show. Like, for instance, Ray, do you think that the Phillies are interested in Tarek Skubal?
Well, and you know Dave Dombrowski, he is going to go through every single possibility to bring in what he needs. He'll be aggressive at the deadline, exploring every avenue to improve this roster. And if he thinks he can't get that bat, why not double down on that pitching staff?
And you know what? He's probably right. Because if Jason Stark says that the Phillies have been talking about Scooble, which really surprises me, and I don't think they should do that. If Jason Stark says that they're talking about it, I think Dombrowski's ready to make a splash. I think he's ready to make a big move. Outside of Francisco Renteria, their 17-year-old top international prospect, I'm not trading him. I'll trade anybody else. They need it. What are we talking about? They're probably not going to play next year.
Yeah, but this splash needs to be the overweight guy at the local pool club doing a cannonball off the diving board.
All right, better chance of happening, and we'll start this up. This is for the phone lines. This is for the Davis Honda text line and the voice memos. Better chance of happening. Big move or a couple of mid moves. Bullpen, Bader, Walker Buehler. Better chance of happening. Those moves or the splash.
Oh, it's the mid moves. It's the mid moves.
See, I don't feel really confident saying that. Dombrowski's got to know. You know who else knows? Bryce Harper. After the game, he sounded the alarm and asked for help. We'll play for that. We'll play that, and we'll get to your phone calls, your text messages, your voice memos. It's Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. Middays with Mark. Sean Brace on assignment. Packing his car. Already done. Dutsy's in the house. I didn't see Negative Nate. Is he here this morning? Negative Nate?
He is here this morning.
And you on the text line, phone line 610-632-0975. The Phillies are in desperate need of help. Bob Nightingale is going to join us, longtime insider, USA Today. Going to join us at 11 o'clock with the latest of what he's hearing. But here's what we're hearing from Bryce Harper. Help! Help! All right, let's play the sound. And then, because I know I'm already, I used to have to be this guy, but I'm not this guy anymore to where I'm going to come out and criticize Bryce Harper. I think John Kincade was that guy this morning. But here's Bryce Harper after the game last night.
Yeah, I mean, I think we need some help. But, I think we've proved, pretty much all year we've done a pretty good job. But, anytime you can, get some help in here and reinforcements, I think it helps.
Do you think that help be best coming in the form of an arm or a bat?
I think both. I think obviously everybody knows what we need, so I think I've said it over the last couple of days.
There you go. Jim Salisbury with the great follow-up of an arm or a bat, and he didn't answer it, but still, he didn't. Bryce Harper knows that this team needs help. Everybody on the roster, on the 40-man roster, in the minor leagues, if they're watching the major league team, knows that this team needs help. They need an impact bat. They need two, not one, two back of the not rotation, back of the bullpen arms, and they need a fifth starter. That's what they need. So right now, Ray, what is the order that they need? Because for a long time, I said bullpen, hitting, fifth starter. I never bought into having to make a big move for a starting pitcher. But now I feel like bullpen and bat are rivaling each other to where it's almost 1A and 1B.
Right now, I'm picking out of a hat, man. Are you kidding me? At this point, just spin the wheel. Whatever you end up with, you end up with. They're all dire needs. If I have to go what I need the most, I'm still thinking the bullpen because let's be real about this. This lineup is flawed. We know what it is. We've watched this movie a million times. Last night you're watching it. You're like, you know what? I've seen the finale to this. I know how this movie ends. I know how this series ends. Ted ends up with Robin. Sorry, guys. That's what happens. We all are very aware of the way this goes. You're going to be disappointed either way. But this team's not winning if the big guys in that lineup don't produce anyways. Right now, you're struggling. Why are you struggling? Schwarber, Harper aren't doing their thing. Yep. You want to go down that lineup right now? Look at the right-handed bats that we've been subjected to this season. Turner has a 676 OPS. Realmuto, a 664. Bohm, a 655. And Mundo Sosa's been dependent on to be the left fielder, and the guy's got a sub-600 OPS. There you go.
He played third last night because Schwarber's out with a sickness. He's out again today.
Right. His stomach now is apparently a problem.
Yeah, he must have a weak an Embiid stomach.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought when I saw this. I was like, oh, great. Now we got him with the Embiid stomach. But you look at this and you can say, okay, that underlines what you need in terms of a bat. But I've invested in this lineup. Turner needs to be Turner. Realmuto, I get it. We knew that this was going to happen at some point.
Well, listen, he's only got two more years after this year. Because, of course, they had to bid against themselves and give a 3-year contract.
Dave Dombrowski, an hour and a half after the Bone Bichette news dropped.
Dave Dombrowski has totally screwed this up. He has. He's totally screwed this up. I'm not even going to talk about Turner, whatever. That contract happened. They've totally screwed this up. They are not a deep team. They lost 1-0 last night. They're now only 6 games over 500. By the way, they've dropped the first 2 games of a series against a team that lost 12 straight games. Last night, if you're scoring at home, right, they had 4 hits. 2 of them were by Brian De La Cruz, who had been in AAA offseason until just a week or 2 ago.
He's the revelation. If there's anything I've enjoyed watching over the last 2 weeks, it's been Brian De La Cruz.
So can he keep up with the pace of batting .727 on the season, right? Probably not, right?
I would say no.
So I'm told John, non-surprisingly, criticized Harper for it this morning. I didn't hear it. You told me that he did. I'm sure there's going to be other usual suspects that are going to criticize Bryce Harper. I have absolutely no issue with Bryce Harper after the game saying, yeah, we need help. I mean, what are we talking about here? What, him look into the camera and be like, no, we're fine? No, they need help. This team's trying to win a World Series. Trey Turner, 241. Stott, who batted second last night, 253. Harper's down to 252. Bohm's batting 225. Marsh's all the way down to 280. Yeah. Sosa, 207. Crawford, 253. Stubbs, I don't even know about JT, but JT's batting 220, 230.
I got the OPS, 664. So whatever it is not good.
Yeah, I'm glad that he said something. Did you said this, or Dylan said this before the show. This is the equivalent of Joel Embiid saying that they've ducked the luxury tax the last couple of years. In other words, we need help. The difference was the Sixers weren't looking to add. They were looking to subtract. The Phillies are looking to add. It's a matter of what they can do.
It is a matter of what they can do. I want to go to the Harper critique here for a second, though, because as much as I'm not going to freak out on Bryce Harper for what he said, this is the dynamic that we have right now. A president of baseball operations that over the offseason...
I guess we only find out if he becomes elite or he continues to be good.
Gave us that, shooting the first real cannon across the other ship, and then Harper went and talked to Gelb over the offseason, and now Harper has taken pretty much every opportunity over the last week to be like, yeah, we need something. And it's not because... I don't think it's all just in good fun of I know what we need to win. I do think a little bit of this is yo, man, You question me, I'm going to question you right now. Like the Gelman Zielecki thing yesterday we talked about, I went back and listened to what Zielecki said. Harper offered up the fact that he had his outfield glove there. Harper's not exactly being shy about the fact of, Dombrowski, you built a flawed roster and we need something here. I haven't spoken to Dave, he said. I have the Zielecki cut if you want it from yesterday again. He basically was like, yeah, I haven't spoke to Dave, but I've got my outfield glove here. While I have the two of you
So
here,
you
let me
have
offer
Harper saying that?
I have Zielecki saying what Harper said to them.
Yeah. Yeah, you have it right now?
Yeah.
All right, cue it up. Good.
Yeah, so Harper, Matt Gelb and I from The Athletic talked to Bryce before the game because he's really been scuffling offensively over the last month or whatever. And so we were talking about that. Then we started talking about the trade deadline. And then Bryce said, hey, I don't know what they're going to do. I haven't talked to Dave about it, but I did bring my outfielders mitt just in case. I was like, well, they would have to get a first baseman for you to move. And I said, would you be willing to do this? He's like, come on, I would move if the right guy came along. So
just to that point, a year ago today, Todd Zielecki wrote the same story about Harper moving to the outfield.
Okay.
Do we believe this organization is going to move him to the outfield?
Do I think that they could acquire somebody to play first base or third base to where Harper will play some right field? Absolutely.
I don't think they're going to move him.
Well, is it likely? Probably not, just because I don't know who would warrant that type of move. But so what? You think he's saying that to grandstand and to kind of put pressure on Dombrowski? What if he actually makes a move and Bryce has to play right field?
Well, in that case, good thing you brought your outfield glove, buddy. Go on out there and play the outfield for the rest of the season.
I think that he is making a point and he's using the media to do it because he clearly doesn't have a good relationship with Bryce Harper. So whether or not Dave Dombrowski,
right.
Whether or not Dave hears it firsthand, he's being told what Bryce is saying. If they have any, like Kevin Gregg and the media department down there, they got to be telling Dave Dombrowski's what's being said in the media. So if that's the case, he's sending his message to the team. And by the way, that's what the star players should do. That's what Joel Embiid tried to do. He was trying to make the team better. The team needed to be better, and they didn't do it. And the Sixers ended up screwing that up. I don't think they beat the Knicks, but still, they were so thin in the playoffs that they make a move or two that maybe they win a game or two. Anyway, he should. If you want to criticize Bryce Harper and say, well, Bryce, why don't you do your job? Man, listen, Bryce Harper was batting 270 before the All-Star break, and now, he's hot. He'll go 270, and then people will rip him, and he'll be batting 275 in 3 weeks, and he'll be batting 250 after that. He's had a good season this year. Is it elite? It's closer to elite than good, right? It's not.
July hasn't helped that, but yeah, I get what you're saying here. He's doing his job. Ultimately, of the guys on this roster, I'm not pointing to Bryce Harper and saying they're not there.
Schwarber and Harper are doing enough. It's the other guys that aren't.
And it's when they have 2 weeks where they're not doing their job, this is what happens.
And that's the danger when you bring back the same team. And I know Rob Thompson tried to campaign to where it wasn't the same team. They had all this roster turnover. No, it really wasn't. It's the same team because Crawford's impact has been minimal. And they still don't have a right fielder. They added Garcia. He's already gone. No one put Dave Dombrowski in a headlock and made him sign Adolis Garcia to a 1-year, $10 million contract. And to get rid of Nick Castellanos. Your right field position is making $30 million this year to not play at all.
Right.
That's on Dombrowski.
Yes. And 18 million more went to Taiwan Walker. And you go down the line here. You got a shortstop that can't play shortstop and has a sub 700 OPS and has 2 presidential terms left on the end of his contract. That's where we're at right now. And that's the infuriating thing. It's just to wrap the point up on Harper, because I'm not going to criticize the guy for telling us what we all know. If they all legitimately had truth serum or they were put up to the lie detector test and they all walked out there saying we don't need help, fine. That, I would think they're crazy, but that's what they believe. The issue to me is more what Harper signals here. Because Harper signals we need help. What if they don't get what they need? What does that do to the psyche in there? There's a chance you don't have the ammunition to make that big splash.
Davis Honda text line, voice memos, text messages, phone call, 610-632-0975. I'm curious to what people think. Because really, it's not a matter of what they're going to do at the trade deadline. It's a matter of how aggressive are they being to make a big move. Right? We talk about splashes. I want to be very specific. You can't force other teams to trade you great players and give up what you want to give up. I'm not saying that you trade any. I'm not trading any prospect in the system. I'm just not. Unless if it's for a player like a Buxton, you trade anybody. Yeah, because he's going to be good in the future. It's a risk, but it's a risk worth taking. And if one of your minor league guys turns into a superstar, you're going to be like, damn, you wish you didn't do that. This window of opportunity, Ray, these old guys, they may not be playing next year. It's going to be a shortened season. You're going to wait for 2 years? They're 2 years older? No.
You wait another year.
You are so pot committed to this old aging core that you almost have to do something.
Like, I'm knocking on wood right now, but, like, let's walk through this. Zach Wheeler had thoracic outlet syndrome, came back, and we were talking about him as a Cy Young candidate. Now we're concerned about what happened the other night. Whatever, we'll get to that. But he came back, and he's been that for you. Schwarber and Harper have put together all-star seasons. Like, you've gotten that from your guys who, hey, they're getting up there in age.
Marsh
Marsh
has been better than you expected.
Right, but, like, these guys who are older, like, that you would think, hey, maybe there's a step down coming for them at some point. Schwarber put Uncle Jamie to shame and put together 33 home runs by this point. Like, those type of things, you can't just bank on continuing happening for you year in and year out where you can put together a 162 that gets you to the postseason.
Yeah, at some point they're going to drop off.
And if you wake up today and look at the standings, you're not feeling so hot about the postseason. You're not.
No, you're
This
not.
is the roster. The roster's put together to go to the postseason. I believe they're going to be a playoff team, but that belief can't be as good today as it was a week ago.
All right, we got some voice memos on the Davis Honda text line. Go, Ray.
This is Todd in D.C. No, the Phillies don't deserve any new players because they didn't get the job done with what they have. Bryce Harper is the problem. He's toxic. He was toxic in D.C., and that's why they let him go. And they won a World Series the year he left. The problem is he got every player he wanted, Turner, whatever, and they didn't do anything.
I'm not going to tell you there's not a Bryce Harper component at some point. They've also made a World Series with Bryce Harper. They've also won multiple divisions with Bryce Harper. Let's not act like that it's all toxic. I don't get a sense, and from people that I talk to, that Bryce is any type of a problem in the clubhouse or with teammates or anything like that. So I'm not going to make it about Bryce Harper. This is going to continue in the future. The longer they don't win, the more the focus is going to go on Bryce Harper. But as far as the actual relevant thing to the trade deadline, to say that they don't deserve any more players because they haven't had it done is literally the dumbest thing we may hear today. Oftentimes, teams go into seasons knowing they have holes in their roster. And they hope over the course of a season they have some younger guys come up or maybe one-year contracts that they sign. Guys develop. Nobody expected Jason Worth to develop into an all-star level outfielder. They signed him, and it's like, wow, look how good Jason Worth is. So you can't just expect that. And then you have the trade deadline. There's very often teams go in and say, we're a little short in the bullpen. Let's get to July. Let's see what we need. Then we make moves at the trade deadline. Phillies are still in position to make the playoffs, even with the holes they have in the roster. They have to improve the team. Pat Gillick improved the team at the trade deadline. Right? Like, Dave Dombrowski last year improved the team at the trade deadline. This year they need to improve the team at the trade deadline. To be hard-headed and say, yeah, they don't deserve anything else. And here's another unrealistic thing that at least I have to put out there, but it's silly. I've seen a lot of social media, Facebook, they should sell. Be sellers at the deadline. This team's not winning anything. So, Ray, this team may not be winning anything. And people are okay. I'm okay with people feeling like that because a lot of me does as well. John Middleton has a $300 million payroll. You think he's going to sink, $200 million in so far this year just to sell off now so you don't make the playoffs?
And it's also the names that you see people suggesting they sell. They should trade Aaron Nola.
Yes, good
To
idea.
who? For
Good
what? Like, Lancaster Barnstormers won an ace? Like, what are we doing over here?
You're a Nola guy.
I'm
You
an
can't
Nola
say
guy,
that.
but look at what he's owed. Look at what's the rest of the league going to give you. Like,
Why have I become the biggest defender of Aaron Nola in the city?
because I'm watching last night, and he walks back out there in the sixth, and all I can think about is all the praise I heaped on the guy in the offseason, and I want to break my television. I'm like, why are you putting him out there again?
He only gave up a run.
He didn't give up anything. Well, he gave up one, but in that sixth inning, he gave up nothing.
No, I
was
know.
wrong. I would have been too tame in my Nola praise.
He's actually been pretty good, Nola. I know the ERA doesn't look good. I went from being the only person with common sense on Aaron Nola and saying, why are you signing this guy to a long-term contract, to people telling me when I called him Joe Blanton that I was an idiot and getting death threats, to now having to defend the guy. Man, you know what, Ray? People are lucky to have me as a part of the Philadelphia sports fabric because someone's got to have sense in this city.
And I will absolutely delete that burner account that I sent you that death threat from.
Let's go to Dennis in Newtown. Dennis, go ahead, man. What's going on?
Good morning. Hey, listen, I want to talk about Harper and the team.
Yeah.
But the team right now is what you get in the playoffs. They can't hit. I mean, last year they blamed that one loss on Kirkering. Kirk is a pretty good pitcher. No, Harper didn't hit. Schwarber didn't hit. It should never have got to Kirkering. Okay, and that's the way it's been for the last time they've been in there, 3 or 4 times.
Yep.
So they don't have any contact hitters. That's the main problem. They strike out too much.
Yep. No, you're right. You're
so
right. That's what. But hang on. That's what I wanted in the offseason was that I wanted a different hitter in the lineup. I wanted somebody that offered a different dynamic.
But one contact hitter's not going to make it, like Lewis Aride at San Francisco. He or Kwan of Cleveland.
No, he's not
or,
going to
any of those guys. You need more than. They don't make contact. That's the problem.
Well,
okay?
but they're also streaky. Harper's very streaky, so when he's not hitting.
Good. I mean that's not you got to you got to be streaky in the playoffs, which is hard to do. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so Dennis, here's my point. It's because you brought up Bryce Harper, and you're fine to do that. Bryce Harper's not the problem with this lineup this year.
Well, I think he is because he's not elite and he strikes out too much. And he doesn't hit in the clutch anymore. Okay? Dombrowski was right. Okay?
Well, Dombrowski might have been right that he's not elite anymore, but it's an all-star level. It's an all-star level season. He's on pace to hit 35 home runs or so, right? Even if right now he's batting 250. What are you laughing about?
Because there are only 5 games. This team is filled with all-stars. He's right. You go down the lineup. They have all-stars.
Is Trey Turner an all-star?
He should be.
Well, he's not. That's the point. You're blaming Bryce Harper, but Trey Turner's not an all-star.
But they all are not all-stars anymore.
Isn't
They're
the
all
bigger
over the
issue?
hill.
Isn't the biggest issue with this lineup the guys not named Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber? That's the bigger issue. Those two.
I would listen to this. Here's what I would do. I would trade Harper right now to the Yankees.
All right.
Okay. He wants it. He did that. In the All-Star game, he was bringing up Judge and all that stuff.
Listen, Dennis. I appreciate your phone call, and I invite you to call again to talk Phillies. We have to be realistic. If we're going to have a barroom conversation of should you do something, I'm not having that conversation with trading Bryce Harper to the Yankees. They're just not going to do it. If you want to say, hey, in the offseason they should consider doing this, I'm all for it. The Phillies can lose in the first or second round of the playoffs with or without Bryce Harper. He's not the one that Bryce Harper doesn't make this team a playoff team. You have to replace his production. He's a good player. I'm not saying they're not doing that now. They're not trading away their veteran players right now. Dave Dombrowski's not doing that. John Middleton's not doing that. So let's stop having the unrealistic conversation and let's have the realistic conversation. What the hell can Dave Dombrowski do to turn this lineup around?
And this team, I remember we did the ESPN story that did the midseason grades, and I forget who wrote it, but they wrote, after player 7, after the 6 All-Stars they have and Zach Wheeler, this team's not very good. And you watch it, and it's basically like you're going down the hill of Manayunk once you get from those guys. So you're going straight into the slope here because after that, who's giving you anything? Turner's the freaking leadoff guy for this team. The guy's got a sub-700 OPS. Last night, that lineup they put out there, shame on us for believing they're going to win a game. Without Schwarber, you got Turner, Stott, Bohm, 3 guys. Stott's now over 700 OPS. We're going to throw a parade over that. Those 3 guys being 3 of your top 4, it's disgusting for a team with a $300 million payroll.
It doesn't feel good right now.
No.
That's for sure.
I don't like being down on the Phillies like this. I don't want to be Vic Fangio.
I'm down on the Phillies.
Dave is on a text line voice memo. What do we got, Ray?
Oh, we got.
Oh, boo-hoo. Oh, I'm going to go cry on my $300 million. I need help. Big baby. Grow some and win. Kill the ball.
Right, exactly. Don't get help. You got this is my favorite opinion right now in Philadelphia sports. Don't get them any help because they should be winning on their own. Don't get them out. You know what? Screw you guys. You don't have enough? No, then lose. As opposed to going out and trying to make a move. Bryce Harper is saying what every fan is saying out there, and he's making the point. And he's putting it on the burner. You know what? You know who that might be for, Ray? That might not be for Dave Dombrowski. That might be for John Middleton. You don't think John Middleton's having meetings with Dave Dombrowski on a daily basis talking about the trade deadline and what they can do financially? John Middleton has already proven. What did they end up paying with luxury tax for Robertson last year? To give you next to nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Like 15 million or something? That's just like, he could have easily said no, and he keeps $16 million in his pocket. Because of the luxury tax, he had to pay, like triple the amount of his actual salary?
Yep.
Great. So I think this is a message for John Middleton as much for anybody. Go out and make a move. So the owner can tell Dombrowski, make a move. Financially, make a move. All right, is this going to cost me $30 million this year? Make a move.
Which also makes sense given what Harper said to Betts on his podcast about, hey, listen, with uncertainty of next season, these guys should be ready to pay us because they're not going to be paying full salary next year. Totally ignoring the fact that you're not going to get any gate and, all those games are going to
Right, the revenue that comes in.
Yeah, but it's all right. That's a player's perspective on it. Like, maybe it is a shot at everyone pretty much higher than him in the organization.
Yeah, he's sending a message. And shouldn't fans like that? I don't know. Like, do I want Bryce Harper to be more productive? Of course I do. See the problem with the team?
No.
No.
The position players. If you go to Baseball Reference, you look at WAR, and I understand. Flawed stat for you. But
what is it good for? WAR.
WAR, what's it good for? Great book title. There are only 4 position players that have a higher than 1 WAR on Baseball Reference for the Phillies. Schwarber, Harper, Marsh, and Derek Hill.
Yeah, they need to put him in the lineup more.
Those are the 4. Is that your core 4 that's winning you a World Series?
Well, that was Glorious Gary in that last one?
No. We have a text from Glorious Gary.
Oh, a regular text.
Yes.
All right. We'll get to that coming up. Get your voice memos in. What do you think about the trade deadline? We have Bob Nightingale coming up at top of the hour, 11 o'clock. What is he hearing? Is he expecting a blockbuster? Ray, I want a blockbuster. And I'm not normally the blockbuster guy. I'm like, no, let's not be realistic. Let's get a couple relievers. Let's get Bader. This team needs a jolt in the lineup.
You feel more likely to get a video store than you are to get an actual trade.
610-632-0975. We have Don Mattingly audio. What does he think about the team perhaps needing some more players at the trade deadline? We'll play that. We'll get to your phone calls, your voice memos, and your texts. That's coming up Middays with Marks 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, check it out. Make your downtime fun time all summer long with the BetParks app. Because BetParks is bringing the casino to you. Sean will be down the beach. Bang. If you're on the boat, the lake, maybe the pool, which I'll be tomorrow, or right on your couch. And it's right on your fingertips. So I'm not just talking about, we talk a lot about betting and gaming, right? Talking about what are we going to do with the fightings? What about my most recent thing is pro football futures and what's going on in pro basketball with your team, your town. But you can also play blackjack, craps, poker, all of your favorite casino games right on your phone, like Huff and Puff, Cleopatra, and more. Live bet on Philadelphia baseball, pro golf, MMA, tennis, or women's pro basketball. Check it out. BetParks has a great offer for new online casino users, up to $500 casino bonus back in your first 24 hours. That's right. And you get 500 bonus spins on the hot online slot game. Go, go, go. Check it out. You must be 21 in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, or Michigan. New users only. Terms and conditions do apply. Details at betparks.com. Casino bonus must be wagered. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
just got to get through this and fight through it. It's like a slump offensively. You're going to keep going, and you're counting on it to turn. That comes with the work. It doesn't come just by it'll be fine. But I do think you stay the course. These are our guys.
All right, that's Don Mattingly. That's after the game, not from his bed, just being woken up for an interview.
Who's searching for answers more, the Phillies bats or Don Mattingly postgame?
Yeah, that's Don. That's Sleepy Don. And it's amazing they were able to turn the season around with a guy less enthusiastic than Rob Thompson.
Oh, he's so different than Rob. This is what they really needed.
If you had Larry Boa flipping, and he's not going to flip tables, but you know what I mean. If you had Ozzie Guillen come in and he's a rah-rah guy and he's loud and he's yelling, not yelling at the guys, but just a different personality, does that help? I think it does.
Ooh, with this group, I say no.
But, okay, so, like, Guillen's he's a bad example. But a guy that is more of a more unique personality, someone that the guys like and get a kick out of, and maybe makes it a little bit, because right now in the clubhouse, it's probably like Bryce Harper after the game. No one died. You guys didn't get a run again. But it felt like somebody died at the beginning of the season. It's like, geez, like, guys, wake up. It's okay. And that's why you need, and how you get that now isn't from a manager. You know where you get it from? A player.
Splash.
A guy that comes in, and Bader didn't last, and he got injured, but he brought us. He brought a level of confidence and enthusiasm to the clubhouse, because they looked like their club was much better when they had actually someone that came in with some attitude. And right now, that's what you need, because Crawford's not walking in chirping and doing this or doing that. That's like Marsh. I guess when he's at his best, can add some personality. Where's the personality in this clubhouse right now? Harper doesn't have a lot of personality.
Which begs the question, where's the personality been in this clubhouse for years? Like,
not Trey Turner.
And this is more what he said. Again, I'm not really criticizing him for it. It's just more what it signals to me. It's another Harper quote where it's like, oh, we need something. Remember when Thompson got fired? He's like, well, we were all waiting for something to happen.
Right.
They go through these spells where they're like, someone's going to save us.
So they're waiting for the trade deadline. That's how they're playing right now. It's a great point.
I don't know if you've looked at the standings, Bryce. You don't exactly have the luxury. Last night I watched the Pirates come back from down 6-0. You were down 1-0 to the measly Marlins. Marlins have lost 12 straight games coming into this series. I didn't realize you had the 20s Yankees on the other side. Like, it just felt like they rolled over and died.
It sure did.
And it sounds like they did.
Brian De La Cruz got 2 of their 4 hits, a AAA player.
Their first hit should have been an error. Don't turn me into Ricky Bo here, but that first hit should have been an error. I don't know what we're doing in baseball nowadays.
Oh, you know what they're doing. You got to make those averages higher.
Yeah, now the guy's hitting 226 instead of 224.
Yeah. It was another pathetic game last night. Again, if at the beginning of the show you didn't hear it, the Phillies have scored this season 2 or less runs 39 times. They're 5-34 in those games, as you would expect. You score 2 runs or less, you're going to lose a lot of those games. They scored 1 run or less 26 times. It's one thing if you have the Pirates when the Pirates weren't spending money and had no good players. The Angels when all the bad teams, that would make sense. This team has a $300 million payroll with a bunch of guys making a lot of money on the roster. When they score 3 runs or more, they're 52-17. So what do you need? Hey, Dave, you were content in the offseason with the team that you had? Maybe you shouldn't have been. Because if you score 3 or more runs, this is the best team in the league. And we're not talking about 5 or more runs. We're talking about 3.
3. Just 3. No, I'm not asking for... I'm asking for 3.
Get Nate on this. Of the 5-34, if they would have scored 3 runs, what would their record have been in those games? I'm just curious, because it's pretty amazing they score 3 runs, they're 52-17. It shows you how good their pitching has been. All right, let's go to the archivist. Jim in Cheltenham joins us. What's up, Jim?
Well, guys, how you doing?
Hey, buddy.
Phillies. I'm watching Phillies baseball, like since the early '60s. This team right now is unfixable. It can't be fixed. They're probably 5 players away from having a chance. And they're now starting to show major age. You see the age; they look tired. And basically, you have to. My opinion, it's time to blow it up, sell, and and
Jim.
to try something because this era is over.
It might, right. Appreciate it, Jim. It must be a boomer opinion. That's why I see it more on Facebook than anywhere. So,
You want to hear our Davis Honda text line?
let's hear it.
Right here from Morristown. Listen, I can't believe we're talking about making a big splash for the Philadelphia Phillies. It's time to sell, sell, sell. They're not going to play next year. They're not going to do anything in the playoffs with one bat being added in. This team is a lost cause. Sell if anyone's willing to buy. My phone lines are open.
I'll counter with if Bader stays healthy last year, maybe that Dodger series looks a little different.
Fine line.
Bader wasn't a big splash. Bader was a good trade.
It was.
He was good.
And it was.
And then he got hurt.
Full side power, baby. He figured it out for a year.
He saw, he's terrible. Is he still batting under 200 this year? He lost his job.
Oh, yeah, he lost his job quick, but he made $22 million losing his job.
And it was a good move by Dombrowski not to re-sign him. But they need to find this year's Bader. I say big splash because if you're trying to win a World Series, and again, there has to be a player out there to get. Bob Nightingale's coming up in 10 minutes. We'll specifically ask him about who he's hearing and what is the bat splash that they could make. But, yeah, I can't. You want to wave the white flag on this team now? We're actually a playoff team. You want to wave the white flag and sell and then just give up and then rebuild? Okay, they're not going to do that. I don't want them to do that.
Best argument for that, minor leagues still happen in the lockout, right? Let's get some exciting guys down there in Reading. You know, it's the only baseball we're going to have next year.
I actually had somebody say that to me. I don't know if it was on the air or DM. Yep. And it's a decent point. Build your minor league system back up. Get young players, get AA players to develop, and then they're ready to go the following year.
Sure, why not? Let's just throw it all the way.
Right? If they make the playoffs again this year, and it's not going to happen, but if they make the playoffs again this year and they lose in the first round, what I'm saying is not going to happen is I don't think they blow it up. But if they decided, hey, you know what? We're having some labor issues. Dave Dombrowski wants to go back to Nashville. Maybe you look at the team and you say, hey, maybe you do reconfigure it a little bit. They just signed Schwarber to a long-term contract.
I'm telling you, man. That guy's got job security like you wouldn't believe.
Dombrowski?
Yeah.
Oh, he's not going anywhere. Bob Nightingale laughed at us last time he was on when I talked about him being.
And I look forward to hearing that laugh one more time.
610-632-0975. Good texts and good voice memos today. So let me hear the Glorious Gary text. Is it a voice memo or just a text? I couldn't imagine he knows that.
It's just a text. And he's telling us it's just a text because, boys, I can't even call. I'm picking up the pieces of my TV that I destroyed last night watching that bleep show. How the bleep is this K-Long still have a job? He's teaching them how not to hit. As usual, they cannot hit good pitching. And Mattingly must be a cousin of Rob Thompson because they are both asleep. What a disgrace this is. Would also help if this piece of bleep Harper would get the hell out of here. Glorious Gary.
Well, Glorious Gary, you're chicken if you're not going to call in today and share those opinions.
Given the language he's using, we appreciate it.
Well, we can always use the dump button if you can. Yeah, so he can't control himself. Thank you for texting. When you calm down a little bit.
When you clean up the TV pieces.
So we've had more sellers than buyers. Seriously, Bill's Twitter poll yesterday was, should they be buyers or sellers? And it was 40% I saw at one point that said sell. And I said to Bill, it's unrealistic they're not doing it. But he's like, 40% are say to sell.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
We just got an all caps text. What's this? Danny from Jersey. Blow it up.
So we're blowing it up. Okay, I know it's been bad recently. I understand. I've not enjoyed watching it either. I watch every Phillies game unless I'm on vacation. I didn't watch last week. All right, Bob Nightingale. He answers the questions and questions the answers. Does he expect a splash? Does he expect a big move? Let's talk about Scooble. Let's talk about some big bats that they can bring in. What is Bob Nightingale hearing? Longtime MLB insider. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. The MLB trade deadline on Monday. And Bob Nightingale, longtime MLB insider, USA Today, is going to join us coming up here any moment. He actually joins us right now. A lot to talk about with Bob Nightingale. Bob, thank you for a few minutes. How are you?
Yeah, doing great. How about you guys?
Well, listen, the Phillies didn't score a run last night. So after the game, Bryce Harper says, we need help. Everybody knows that. Do the Phillies know? Does Dave Dombrowski, does John Middleton, does he know, do they know that the Phillies are really desperate for help?
Yeah, they've been talking about this for a while. They absolutely do know it. And, to be honest, they think they should have won at least one World Series by now, since 2021, if not a couple. They got some holes. They got some work to do to see if they can, hang with the Dodgers and everybody else in the National League.
All right, so I'm seeing that John Morosi of Fox reported that the Phillies have been scouting, or they scouted Tarek Skubal's last start, and the Phillies still have starting pitching, but maybe if Dave doesn't think the bat's out there, that he could potentially get a starting pitcher. Are you hearing, and does it make sense to you that the Phillies would be aggressively in on acquiring Skubal?
It doesn't make sense to me. They don't need Skubal. They need a bullpen help. They need a bat. Skubal makes no sense to the Phillies. It really doesn't.
I agree with you, but I do think that we agree the bullpen, and that's probably the easiest thing to get, depending on how good the bullpen arm is. But when you look at this lineup, and if Turner was the Trey Turner they signed, if Bohm was producing like they wanted, Marsh has gotten cold of late, they need an impact bat, and they really need a right-handed impact bat. Are you hearing, and do you believe that that's where Dave Dombrowski is going to try to make the biggest move, which is to add a big bat?
Yeah, that's their biggest need in a reliever, particularly with Mitch Keller going down. So those two things, they need to get filling those two holes. Whether it's Elliot Ramos from San Francisco, Joe Adell from the Angels, and there are relievers available, but they're pricey because everybody wants one.
Right. As far as a bat, we know Byron Buxton had said he's not waiving the no trade clause. That's not going to happen. But then Jim Salisbury had said on his podcast that a Phillies player told him that he had said he'd be willing in the right situation to waive the no trade clause to come to Philly. The Twins are still kind of in it. Do you believe there's any way that Buxton becomes available, and do the Phillies have the firepower to go out there and make a move like that?
No, zero chance. He's not leaving Minnesota. If he's going anywhere, he'd go to Atlanta, who doesn't need a center fielder. He's from Atlanta. But no, it's almost like the Mike Trout rumors. He's not going anywhere.
So, I mean, it seems like if I was to ask you if you think that it's going to be two relievers and this year's Harrison Bader, or Dave Dombrowski's looking to make a big trade that's going to affect the lineup, what do you think is the more likelier situation?
I think they're really desperate to get that right-handed bat, and but they need a reliever too. It's almost 1 and 1A, but they got to get those two spots if they're going to have a chance. And they got to be careful here. They're slipping out of that number 4 spot, which we leave them in number 5 spot. If you're the number 5 spot, don't even have a home game in that wild card round.
From your perspective, talking about that with the postseason, how much of a concern talking to people around baseball is it for the Phillies that they could slip out of the postseason picture?
You haven't heard that much, but, the Padres are starting to come around now. Diamondbacks are, hanging around 500, a few games above. So, yeah, if you're the number 5 seed, you play a best of 3 on the road. So that's a disaster, not even making the having a home game. So it's almost the same as missing playoffs completely. But, yeah, that'd be disastrous for the Phillies not to be in there with that payroll and all the stars.
And disastrous with a fallout of what, would you think, if that doesn't work out for this team with this payroll, with these expectations?
If that happened, I'd probably consider breaking up that team and see, what do you want out there and moving some pieces and kind of starting over. And that's a big rebuild, but at least a retool. But I would think you'd break it up if that happens.
It's funny, and we're talking to Bob Nightingale, longtime MLB insider, USA Today, that the feedback we're getting today after a couple of bad losses by the Phillies is sell. Don't buy at the trade deadline. Sell at the trade deadline, which we know is very unlikely. But I guess my question is, how good do you think this team is? Because Trey Turner was signed to be MVP type Trey Turner. He had a pretty good year last year, batted .300. But looking at this team right now and the likely additions that the Phillies can make at the deadline, is this team a true World Series contender?
Well, you're relying on the three big boys with Wheeler and Sanchez and Luzardo. That's where they go. I mean, when you talk to Dodgers, they say, okay, what team can stop you? They always come up with the Phillies. They had a chance to knock them off last year. Could at least force a Game 5 back in Philly in that first round there. But yeah, just because of those three guys, that's they'll match that top three guys against any 1, 2, 3 in the game.
I'm curious, looking at the big picture here. Obviously, they've turned it around under Don Mattingly. He said to ESPN ahead of a broadcast, I think it was last month, about his interest next season. Has there been any more out there in the baseball world about the potential Cora jump in next year, Mattingly wanting to stick around as the permanent manager of this team?
Unless they win the World Series, I would expect Alex Cora to be there. I think he's their next manager. He and David Zerboski are very close. Obviously offered to Alex Cora first. He says, let me take the rest of the summer off. If you guys want, I'll be there in the wintertime. So, yeah, I'd be shocked if Alex Cora isn't their manager in 27.
All right, give us a couple names as far as bullpen arms. I know Mason Miller's been talked about. Jeff Hoffman, former Phillies expiring contract, may not cost that much. Are you hearing anything as far as names or what reliever could end up in Philadelphia come Monday?
I can see Hoffman. He's pitching a lot better now, too. And, they're familiar with him. Some people can be gun shy because of what happened, in Philly, coughing up some big games. Of course, Game 7 of the World Series last year. So, if they could get him and they, an outfielder too, then I think they'll take their chances in the playoffs and see what happens.
And does the possible work stoppage next year, Bob, and the fact it may be a shortened season, it may be slow to start, whatever it may be, a lot of people think that there's going to be a work stoppage next year. Is that affecting the way the teams are operating this season at the trade deadline? Maybe some teams are going for it more, other teams are laying back in the weeds?
I think just that, when you're talking to GMs, they don't want to give up those young prospects or the young players who aren't making any money. So if there's a salary cap, you're going to have to start lowering your payroll, particularly a big market team like the Phillies. So you're less apt to give those guys away because those guys would be more valuable than ever.
Bob Nightingale, USA Today, will be paying attention to everything you tweet out leading up to the trade deadline. We appreciate a couple minutes, Bob. Thank you.
Sure, my pleasure. Take care, guys.
All right, there he is, Bob Nightingale, who by the way, I'm mildly surprised that he said that about Skubal, that it makes no sense. It makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. I was incredulous. Every time Buster Olney brought it up, my head exploded. Like, you're going to trade everything in your farm system for a rental? God, and honestly, Ray, I want nothing to do with them trading for Skubal. I don't care. Lose. I don't need a rental that may start one game in a playoff series, and then he's gone. They're not going to re-sign Skubal.
I haven't let myself believe it because, again, I made this comparison to you off the air. It's the way I truly feel about it. I show up to a silent auction. There's a man richer than me there. I don't know who it is. It's someone out there. Right now, the Phillies, they show up to the Skubal sweepstakes. Somebody's richer than them there. They just don't know who it's going to be. You can put your best bid in. Somebody's walking from behind you and writing their name down for a higher bid. That's just how the Skubal sweepstakes are going to work out. There is no way they can outbid the other 28 teams in baseball that would be involved in those sweepstakes.
Not for a rental. Not for a rental, because if
they wanted to.
But right, if you don't make the World Series, it's a failure. Unless you're going to pay him $600 million. Yeah. Which I can't imagine they're going to do with Luzardo, with Wheeler, with Sanchez. Period. And with Nola.
It makes no sense. It's the reason why we've shut down this conversation so many times. And I know you said John Morosi put out that they had a scout out there looking at him last weekend. It's great. I'm sure he was watching him. If you want to pay me for my work to go out there and watch Skubal pitch, go right ahead. Scott, Paul, you want to pay me to go watch Skubal pitch? I'll do it. I'll do it on the company dime. Gotcha. Makes a lot of sense. Like, unless every other team in baseball just all of a sudden has their phones freeze up and die, I don't think there's any way they can outbid anyone to get Tarek Skubal.
So that's just an excuse for them to go on a business trip.
Right. Yeah.
David
you want to send me to
watches.
Vegas for Summer League? Sure. I'd love to go to Vegas.
You know who used to always go scouting in Europe? Colangelo. Brian Colangelo.
Of course.
Like, well, what's he doing over there? He's taking a free European vacation is what he's doing.
Hell yeah, man. I really want to see who the team in Rome has.
Hey, he's in Greece and Italy watching games. Oh, is he?
Yeah. Vineyard got a visit before, too. Like, The hell are we doing here?
We got a lot of feedback on what's going on. Ray, we need some type of theme for the sellers. Are there any music for selling? Well, like, what's a seller's music? Everybody wants to sell. They don't want to buy, they're sellers. Let's sell on the Phillies. Let's get rid of everybody. Keith in, let's go back to the phones. Keith in Bucks County does not want to sell. And by the way, 610-632-0975 on the Davis Honda text line. You can send the voice memo, name, location, occupation. You're sure to get that on the air if it's good. And then the text, which we may do if we like it. Let's go to Keith. Keith's in Bucks County. Keith, what do you got on the Phillies? Go ahead.
Hey, good morning, guys.
What up, brother?
All right. First of all, 52-17 when they score 3 runs, that blatantly tells you the only thing you need is a bat.
Yep.
Their pitching is good enough. Everybody sits there and they go, well, they need a 5th starter. Really? First of all, in the playoffs, you don't have 5 starters.
Wow.
Playoffs, you have 3, maybe 4. And as your previous guest said, find me 3 better than Sanchez and Luzardo and Wheeler. There aren't any. I'll take them.
Well, you're running the risk of not using one of them during a playoff series. If you're not guaranteed to have all of them start, so you're going to trade for a guy. All right, maybe he would start, but that means that Luzardo isn't going to start. Like, the only thing that makes sense as far as a starting pitcher, Keith, would be a 5th starter that you're not giving up a lot, that can give you 5 innings for the rest of the season. That's about it.
Okay.
4 starts.
Okay, and I wouldn't even do that, because what you're telling me then is I'm giving up on Andrew Painter. And I happen to be one of the guys in the camp that says you don't give up on a 23 or 24-year-old with that kind of talent.
Well, I don't think you bring him up this year, though.
Well, why? You know what? I don't know what he's looking like in the minors. I don't follow minor league baseball. I don't have enough time.
He looked really good in his last start. He's looked good, or he has not looked good, but he looked really good in his last start.
And the other thing I wanted to say is, because I heard him mention Joe Adell. I think Joe Adell is going to cost the Phillies too much money, but I'll tell you who won't.
Who?
And he wants to come here, and he's having a decent year. And I know he's on the downside of the mountain, but Mike Trout is the answer to your problems.
There we go.
He's a power bat. He's a Gold Glove center fielder. He can play right field. He's got a great arm, and he's
you know what?
proven
You know
this
what,
year
Keith?
he can stay healthy.
I'm not trying to cut you off with the Mike Trout stuff. Mike Trout doesn't want to play baseball in Philadelphia. He wants to go to Eagles games. He doesn't want to play baseball in Philadelphia. He doesn't want to play baseball in Boston. He doesn't want to play baseball in New York. He's very comfortable in Southern California. I had heard up in Boston, Ray, you know that I like to listen to our sister station, the Sports Hub. Mm-hmm. Michael Felger, who works the afternoon, he had said that the Red Sox have been inquiring. And the word that Felger heard was that Trout's wife doesn't want to relocate to the East Coast. So maybe this has less to do with Trout than it has to do with his family.
Oh, guy that lives in Southern California would prefer not to go to the Northeast?
No, but like also the family.
Yeah.
I don't know, is his wife from Jersey? I don't want to assume that, but if his wife's from the Northeast and she says, "I love living in Southern California. I don't want to move back."
Oh, they're high school sweethearts.
That's what I thought. So it's not like LeBron James has 2 years left on his he's 2 years left in the NBA probably. And then they're going to go live wherever they want to live. And it's a shorter season than baseball. If Trout's got how many years left on his contract? So it's not like one of these things where it's like, "Hey, honey, I want to go play. I'll only be there a year. Then I'm retiring." No. You're talking about you would have to relocate, or you have to be away from your family for a really long time. And again, this is what Michael Felger said, not what I heard. But we do know that Mike Trout has showed no interest in being a Philadelphia Philly.
Correct.
Can we just slam the door on this freaking conversation until things change?
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. We got to keep having it every year. It's one of my favorites.
No.
My bad football in September. Well, it's the new preseason, guys. I don't know if we could take anything from it.
I know. I try not to be mean to people when they think they're telling me it's like, here's the idea, you've never heard this before, and this is going to solve everything.
Yeah.
Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Let's go to GP in South Philadelphia. GP, what up, man?
Hey, I'm probably not going to be popular with the fan base, but I can't please the fan base. This is the perfect year to be sellers. There's so many teams that are involved right now. We could restructure our whole organization. We need so many things.
All right, so let me stop you. And by the way, everybody we've talked to wants to sell today. Give me specifics on who stays and who you're willing to sell.
I'm going to tell you who I think should go for the market to help out other teams and to help out our future.
All right.
A guy like Wheeler can go to the Braves or Milwaukee. They would love him. They would love him right now. Duran to the Pirates as a closer. They would love him right now.
All right.
The Red Sox would love a chance for a Schwarber or a Harper right now.
So you're trading everybody. You're taking this down. You're taking this down to the bones.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
Please just answer my question. Like the last guy said, they don't need a fifth starter. They don't need a fifth starter to pitch in the playoffs, but they need a fifth starter to make the playoffs.
Correct.
They don't have it. They don't have it. They need a right fielder. They don't have it.
Right.
They need a seventh and eighth inning pitcher. They don't have it.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So this is the opportunity to restructure. You guys are the experts. The team is constructed now. Do you think that they can win a World Series?
No.
Do you think that there's any? It's not like they're just going to bring in Cliff Lee and Roy Oswalt.
If they
need other things.
Are there moves they can make at the trade deadline that will significantly improve the team? Yeah, of course. Of course there are.
But to win the World Series.
Yeah. Yeah, like, do I think that's likely? Of course not. But you also have to keep
what
this.
What are the pieces?
Yeah,
what are the pieces?
Like you said,
what are the pieces that they could offer?
In outfield, what, as far as minor league players?
What could we offer? Like the other teams
minor
in the
league players.
What minor league players? We're ranked 29th, I think, in the league as minor leaguers. What minor league?
So Aiden Miller.
Opinion. That's why I'm saying this.
Well, I'll give you the answer, GP. Thank you. They have enough ammunition in their farm system to get the players they need. Do they have the ammunition to make a big splash and get an all-star level outfielder? Like, yeah, you'd have to get rid of everybody. But yeah, they have. For all the talk about the Phillies minor league system sucks, I don't necessarily disagree with that. But they certainly have enough high-end prospects where you can make moves. The one guy I don't want to move is Francisco Renteria. He's 17 years old. They paid him a $4 million signing bonus. He's an international free agent. The kid's an absolute stud. Gage Wood was their first-round draft pick last year. I would trade him. I don't want to. I would trade him. Aiden Miller, unfortunately, hasn't played a game this year. He's not going to have any value. But you have other pieces in the farm system that teams definitely like. What can that get you? It can get you what you need, for sure. They have enough to get what they need.
And you also could be a little creative with what you do with guys that are currently on the 26-man roster.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, like, but also for everybody that wants to sell, and listen, we'll take the phone calls, we'll take the voice memos. I don't think it's not nuts to think this team can't win. Maybe they should just sell. It's just unrealistic.
What I want to hear from people is, okay, you've made the decision to sell. You now are tasked with going into that clubhouse and delivering that news. What are you saying to that group?
You're traded. See ya. It's so unrealistic. It's not even worth discussing.
Well, because you're not Harper as much as GP. I appreciate the call. Like as much as you're like, all right, yeah, trade Harper. Not trading Harper.
No, they're not trading Harper. They're not trading these guys.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. It's just unrealistic.
But I want you to give me what you're walking in and telling the guys that are left, because there are going to be plenty of core guys that are left here that watched you just sell pieces.
No, it would be like going to a high-end steakhouse and ordering dinner and having salad and leave before the steak comes, because that's what John Middleton would have done. He would have spent $200 million to sell.
Right. You bought the steak too.
Yeah. Yeah. You spent the money. You already paid the tab. You're leaving before you eat, and that's what Middleton would do. They're not selling. They're not selling. Now, I think it's fun to have the conversation, but it's also unrealistic. All right, give me a voice memo here on the Davis Honda text line. What do we got, Ray?
Hi, this is Ed from Northeast Philly. All you geniuses out there who want to trade Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper signed a 13-year contract, no opt-out clauses, no trade clause. He has to approve any trade. He ain't going nowhere.
No, and I think if they went, if they went to Bryce and they said, we want to trade you, he'd be like, let's go. He's already pissed at Dave Dombrowski. So, yeah.
I don't know. You think he'd be like, let's go?
See, whenever I hear no trade clause, all that I think that does is it limits where you can trade them. If you're going and telling a player we don't want you anymore, they could be hard-headed and say, I'm not moving, and they may do that. But is Bryce Harper really going to do that? And at some point, I think we're gonna find that out. Because I don't think he sees the end of this contract, especially if they start to suck. And is Bryce going to want to be the future Hall of Famer that's playing on a bad team. Man, I don't know. I can't be worried about all that. They're not trading Bryce Harper right now. They're not. All right, give me another voice memo here on the Davis Honda text line. What do we got?
What exactly is Bryce Harper supposed to do with absolutely nobody hitting behind him? He sees one pitch per at bat, if he's lucky. If he doesn't do anything with that pitch, he's not getting another one. The opposing teams know better. Don't give him anything to hit.
The team's so bad right now. They're really, really tough to watch.
This is bad. This is very, very bad.
All right, coming up, Ray, we're going to switch gears to the 76ers. This is something that we've been talking about it on the show. And NBC Sports Philadelphia apparently hears you. All right, they had LeBron James. 76ers had LeBron James. A lot of people, including my buddy Ryan Kanofsky, alumni of 97.5 The Fanatic, said they can't come back with its announcing group. Well, guess what? They hear you. What is NBC Sports Philadelphia looking to do to the Sixers broadcast, according to the Philadelphia Inquirer? We have those details for you coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Help wanted. Tom Ray done with this Fanatic Sports Update, and it's brought to you by the Empire State Building. Find out why the reimagined Empire State Building observation deck was voted America's #1 attraction by TripAdvisor travelers. Tickets at EmpireStateBuilding.com/radio. Open daily reservations required. Marlins beat the Phillies 1-0 last night. Phil's offense just 4 hits in the game. Aaron Nola going 5 2/3, allowing just 1 earned run in the loss. After the loss, Bryce Harper saying this team needs some help.
Yeah, I mean, I think we need some help, but I think we've proved, pretty much all year we've done a pretty good job. But anytime you can, get some help in here and reinforcements, I think it helps.
What does that look like? We just spoke to MLB insider Bob Nightingale about a number of different things the Phillies could look to do. You can listen back to that on our website, the Fanatic app, or our YouTube channel. Eagles take the practice field today. Training camp officially underway for the Birds. We'll keep you updated anything going on there. And the 76ers, you might have heard, signed LeBron James. Sports World still reacting to that today. This update's also brought to you by the New Jersey Department of Health. Public health works behind the scenes, building a healthier future for everyone. One mission working for you. Learn more at nj.gov/health. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
know, they need a bat. Skubal makes no sense to the Phillies. It really doesn't.
Yeah, that was Bob Nightingale. And when I say he was awful, I don't mean that he just – I thought he was going to come on and talk up all these free agents that Dave Dombrowski, or all these trade targets Dave Dombrowski was going to get. And he was like, when I asked him about Buxton, didn't he say there's a 0% chance it happens?
No chance.
So typically, you don't want him to pour water on a fire that we're trying to build up. But it shows you that, I think it's important for our audience, realistically, these moves aren't happening. So if you think that the season's going to be saved by a it makes no sense for Skubal. I totally agree. And Buxton's, he said maybe Atlanta. But Buxton's not coming to Philadelphia to save everything. Yeah, that's the last thing you want is him in Atlanta.
Yeah. Remember when we were talking about the division?
Yeah. Listen, but by the way, there's a lot of baseball left to be played. There's 2 months.
Can I use a word to describe Nightingale?
Yep.
Awesome. Because everything I've been saying, I feel validated.
Right.
You got nothing.
So I said the Dutz, because Dutzy's back there. He puts together all the social media reels and clips. And he's like, yeah, Nightingale gave us nothing. And I'm like, he really did, though.
Yeah.
If you combine me asking, hey, what about this guy? And he's like, nah.
A compilation of not happening. Here's Bob Nightingale breaking down the fact that the Phillies won't get Skubal or Buxton.
And he was very short in his answers, which works for a shorter reel.
Yeah.
It doesn't make for a longer interview, but it makes for a shorter reel. You know, which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
I'm fine with. It was very apparent 5 minutes in that it wasn't going to be a long interview.
And Don Mattingly, you have to win the World Series.
Yeah, and that's the other thing he said. And I agree with that. And I think Dave Dombrowski probably agrees with that.
So, if we want to compare 2022 to now,
yeah,
Thompson got the extension in Atlanta after they beat the Cardinals. He had the tag removed. That was when he went. If they truly believe in their ability to do it, after beating whoever in the wild card series, would you remove the interim tag?
because there wasn't a core that was waiting for Thompson. There was no obvious guy that wanted the job. Core wants this job.
He just wanted a summer to hang out by the pool.
And why not? He's getting paid.
Oh, yeah.
He's never had that before. He says, you know what? I'm going to take off the rest of the summer. They may hire him as manager, and they doesn't have to start right away because of work stoppage, whatever. Like, honestly, it's a pretty good deal for Cora. He's getting paid a lot of money to not work, and then he can pick his job.
Awesome deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Cora's the manager whenever the Phillies play next after this year. You're not removing honestly, Nightingale, that was the most truth serum I've ever heard Bob Nightingale have. He said Mattingly has to win the World Series, and he's probably right.
Seemingly.
Make the World Series? Maybe. We'll see.
It's not going to be as low a bar for Thompson.
All right, so listen, we have the report on the 76ers broadcasters. We'll get to it in a second. But Nick in Elkins Park has something on the Phillies and LeBron James. What's up, Nicky?
What's going on, John? What's going on, Ray?
What up, Nick? How are you, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Good. Very good. What's up?
First thing I want to touch on was I was at the beach last week with my family, like you were, and I'm coming off the beach to go back up into the condo. I'm by myself, and I hadn't looked at my phone in probably about an hour and a half. I look at my phone, tons of text messages, this and that, going back and forth. I literally started shaking walking back up to the condo. I say that to say that other station saying that they're not excited to get LeBron James, they are the biggest bunch of frauds in this city. I completely agree with Sean. I just needed to get that off my chest. If you're not excited to get LeBron, then you shouldn't be watching sports.
Yeah, and yesterday, I didn't even remember really saying it, but I was reminded, I guess, by Crossing Broad putting out a post that, that there was multiple personalities on the station that were talking, no, don't get LeBron, no, get LeBron. Oh, we got LeBron. This is the best thing ever. Hang on. You just spent 3 weeks saying why you don't want him. Now you want him? But listen, at least they weren't At least they weren't mad after they signed him. I guess you have to give them a little bit of credit for that. But anyway, screw that.
He's here for $4 million a year. He's trying to put the cherry on top of his career, and I wouldn't call it ring chasing when
it's not.
You're going to a team that it's not ring chasing.
It's not.
Ring chasing would have been going to the Spurs, would have been going to the Thunder. This isn't ring chasing.
No, I mean, honestly, for a guy of LeBron's stature to come to a place specifically that he's going to get the most criticism, If he doesn't win, he's going to get the most criticism. It's the least comfortable place he could go based on his career. Miami's a comfortable spot. Cleveland's a comfortable spot. Golden State, there's no real expectations to win a championship. If he doesn't win a championship in Philadelphia, that's a mark off his career. That's like, hey, you couldn't get it done in Philly. And he took for minimum money, he went to Philadelphia in the most difficult spot to win because it gave him the best chance to win. And I admire him for that. I really, really do.
I completely agree with everything you just said. Now, moving on to Harper. I know you know I'm a Harper guy.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at his splits between the Nationals and the Phillies, they're almost identical. For people, baseball players are going to go through slumps.
Yep.
Harper is doing what Harper does. His statistics are what they are. He's an 850, 900 OPS guy in his career. That's roughly 270, 280. Like, that's what he is. I have no problem with him saying that he needs help. Does it come off bad in front of in the locker room? Sure, but it is. I don't think he said it with like malicious intent. I don't think he was trying to throw anybody under the bus.
No, I mean,
saying,
no, honestly, don't you think his teammates said, "I'm glad he said that"? It might it may end up listen. It may end up costing somebody their job. Guess what? Their job was in jeopardy regardless, whether or not they make a big move or not. The 25th guy on the team is the 25th guy on the team, and if you upgrade your talent, they're going to go to AAA. They're going to lose their job. That's the nature of it. Honestly, I think it's a leadership move to come out and say we need more help.
Yeah, I mean, you got Rincones playing out there. He's batting 175. We are probably a bat or two away, but if you can go out and get a bat, if you can go out and get a reasonable pitcher, I think this team can fight for a playoff run. I don't think it's these guys that I just heard call up and they're talking about selling everything, strip it down to the studs. Yeah. That's what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
We've watched teams go on runs that I watched the Cardinals win a World Series in 2011 by getting hot and
look
getting
at
bats going.
Look at the Phillies. Look at the Phillies the year they went to, and thanks, Nick. The year they went to the World Series, they got hot late. The Diamondbacks got hot late. Do I expect that from this team? If they add somebody that gives them some energy, they need energy and confidence in that clubhouse right now. Their offense is meek, not Meek Mill, meek. For the first time, Ray, I did a radio interview. Where was it? Because a lot of people wanted to talk about LeBron. And instead of bringing me on with the Rocky theme, they brought me into Meek Mill, which I was like, okay. Like, that's not Rocky. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's nice to be known for something else. When Dreams and Nightmares plays, John Marks isn't exactly the first thing that comes to my mind, but yeah.
No, definitely not.
It's nice. It's nice something different than Rocky. It doesn't feel like you get the Rocky treatment every single time.
All right, let's wrap up the Phillies convo with another voice memo on the Davis Honda text line. What do we got?
Hey, guys. Brendan from Manny here, chemical engineer. You know what? I've been saying this for the longest time here, but I'm sick and tired of this elite Dave Dombrowski. What has this guy done? And all I keep saying is, well, what prospects do they have to trade? Why don't they have prospects? Because Dave doesn't know how to go and get the guys. What have we done? What are we doing? Go out, make the big-time elite move, Dave. Go get Yordan Alvarez. I don't know. The Astros are on the fence of buyers or sellers, but if you're the elite GM that everybody talks about, strong-arm him, make the deal happen. I don't care that he's a lefty. He's the best hitter in baseball. Go get the guy. We go Turner, Schwarber, Harper, Yordan. That's the team we need. Make it happen, Dave. Do the deal.
I'll one-up that. I mean, grab Ohtani as well. He helps both the rotation and the lineup, Ray.
Ready to get that leadoff.
Yeah, now you have your leadoff.
We're going to end up watching this team in the postseason
and
with
Trout.
a leadoff guy that's got a sub-700 OPS.
And Trout, because you need the right, and you need Trout too. Because you're too lefty.
I mean, at this point, Buxton, once he sees that lineup be constructed, he will waive the no-trade clause.
Right, yeah, you can get him to play that. Great idea. You can't force teams to give away great players. You can't put them in a headlock and give them a noogie and say, trade them to me. All right, so this is Rob Tourneau of the Philadelphia Inquirer.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see where it is because my buddy sent it to me. And this is the tweet. NBC Sports Philadelphia is looking to staff up with LeBron and Philly, possibly adding a third voice alongside announcers Kate Scott and Allah. Now, I took that as a third person at the table doing the broadcast. However, Ray, you didn't headline read. You actually read what Rob Tordo put out there, which is what?
Which is something that they're not calling a sideline reporter, but both the names Serena Winters and Taryn Hatcher were mentioned in the story, which would suggest that, not that they would come and be the person, but seems to be more in that ilk. That they right now the network is brainstorming where they're at a third voice alongside the two, but the role wouldn't be confined to baseline updates. So maybe it's someone at the table.
By the way, bring Serena Winters back. I loved her. I thought she was great. She went to the Lakers, and then I think she was in Cleveland last year.
She's been in Cleveland, I think, for a couple of years.
Yeah, because I think she went to the Lakers after she left. I was a big fan. Taryn does a good job too. I like Taryn as well. And you know what? They need to do that. I read this as they're going to bring in a third microphone on the broadcast, and again, I think Kate. When I hear Kate do national stuff, I think Kate is a professional and she's good. It's a bad broadcast with Allah. And they need to try something else. And I think bringing in a third would do a lot of good for that broadcast. I know they have 34 nationally televised games, and I think you're going to be able to watch the national broadcast for them. Maybe they're blacked out on some of them. I don't know, but they do have the side-by-side broadcast to where they're still going to be on for most of those broadcasts. I just think they need somebody else. Because if I'm watching 82 76ers games, which I'm going to be doing this year, and a lot more people that haven't watched the Sixers are going to be watching them this year, I think you're in for a surprise at what that broadcast is like.
They're guaranteed a minimum of 67 games. I would imagine the league is going to take the maximum of the 15 standalone national broadcasts, and then if you want to get to that 34 number, then what? That's 19 side-by-side broadcasts.
Which you'll have an opportunity to go elsewhere.
Right. So, yeah. So, Alex Matcham, big boss over there at NBC Sports Philadelphia, she's quoted as saying, as I'm talking to my colleagues, I'm not even calling it a reporter role because I feel like it's going to give them a stereotype I don't necessarily mean. So I don't know what this looks like.
That's more of you're not going to be, oh, hey, let's get the woman that's going to be the sideline reporter, and she's going to, it doesn't really add anything to the broadcast. Because I never felt like that with Taryn. I never felt like that with Serena. Both thought they were very good.
Does it look like the Ben Davis in the dugout?
Well, see, when I read that, I thought, but they have a three-man booth a lot.
Yeah, that's
Don't
what I
they?
mean. Like that kind of will give you a hybrid type of role. Sometimes it'll be down there on the floor giving us updates. I don't want to throw a name out there while we're brainstorming here. Kyle Lowry was doing stuff with Amazon Prime. If Lowry's sticking in the area, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
That's not a reported thing. That's just me spitballing.
Here's
names.
what I need. I need a former Sixer or somebody we associate with Philadelphia. Allah was on the Sixers for like half a season or a season. Why the hell is he the 76ers guy? Because that's what he does for a living. He's an analyst on broadcast, and he said that's the best guy we could bring in. It would help everybody if you brought somebody else in with a different dynamic and a different personality. The problem is they're both pukers. Kate's a puker as a play-by-play person, and that's fine. But Allah's also a very let me tell you something, partner. And it's it's too cheesy. It's too corny. One's corny, but you need somebody to offset that. You can't have double corny. And that's what you have with them. And if you had, when I heard Mark Jackson and McGinnis do it, I think they did a TV game.
Sure, yeah.
They were good. And when I heard Kate with Mark Jackson, it was a good broadcast. Mark's very different than... And he's Philly. He's very different than Allah.
I mean, I'll advocate for Mark all the time. I like work with Mark.
Yeah, I think he's good. Did you bring in Mark to be in select games to be your third guy? We need something else.
Well, that's why when you talk about the Ben Davis role, Ben Davis will do pre-post, and then there's some games where he's analyst. Some days he's down there doing the dugout thing. Like, you want to start rolling Mark into that role? I'll always advocate for it. I love Mark.
I got an outside the box. Remember they brought in Kornheiser and Dennis Miller to do Monday Night Football?
I don't.
Dennis Miller did Monday Night Football with Dan. That was Dan Fouts, and I don't even remember. Dennis Miller, it was awful. What if Ricky Bowe did some 76ers games? You suck.
I like the world in which they've.
Bill, come in. Bill, come in. Colorado, come in. Bill's here. What if Ricky Bo? I know. Bill likes the baseball offseason because that means Ricky's in studio 5 days a week. What if we had Ricky Bo on select 76ers games?
Ricky on select 76ers?
They need something else in that booth.
Listen, I don't say a word. I love Kate Nala.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
I love Kate Nala. The reason I was walking by, I wasn't listening to the show. Did you guys get the Don Mattingly response to Bryce Harper?
We did. Did we play it? I fell asleep. I forgot. Yeah, we got it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, but the broadcast I saw, they're looking for a theyird mic, right?
No, they're looking for. It appears that you read the headline like me.
Yeah, I read the headline.
They're bringing back Serena Winters or Taryn. It looks like.
So it'll still be Kate Nala and then a third.
Yeah, I just think having Mark Jackson, if that's like, he would improve the broadcast greatly. I won't make you talk about that. What's your problem with Bryce Harper? So he's going to be the guy that criticizes Bryce Harper because he's
What'd
anti-Harper.
I said, did you see Mattingly's comments?
I did.
Here was my opinion.
All right, so hold on a second. Play Bryce Harper after, for people just tuning in. Play Bryce Harper after the game.
Hey, man.
Go ahead.
I think we need some help, but I think we've proved pretty much all year we've done a pretty good job. But anytime you can get some help in here and reinforcements, I think it helps.
Do you think that help be best coming in the form of an arm or a bat?
I think both. I think obviously everybody knows what we need, so I think I've said it over the last couple of days.
All right, so what's your problem?
So here's my issue with it. I don't disagree with anything Bryce Harper has said, right? I don't disagree with it. They have needs. We all know what the needs are. What I don't like about it is if they don't fill those needs, what Bryce Harper is basically saying, as the leader of the team, we might as well wave the white flag after the deadline. I think it's a terrible message to send to everybody else. What you need to say is, whatever Dave does at the deadline, we're here for. But I love the guys in this room. We need to play better. We are capable of playing better, and we're going to keep doing our job. Like, by putting it out there, we need help. If they don't get help, then why don't you just wave the white flag when the deadline's over?
Or they're going to keep playing, and it doesn't matter.
But I also heard you make the comparison to the luxury tax comment from Joel.
Duck in the luxury tax.
Someone brought that up a couple weeks ago on our show with a voice memo because we were talking about Bryce saying it back then, what they need, if you remember. We played the Joel Embiid clip. You can't take it out of context. What Joel Embiid's exact words were, in previous years, we ducked the tax. I hope we don't do that. I love the guys in this room. He did not say, we need to go and make big trades. We need help. We need this. He said, I love the guys in this room. He was talking about he didn't want anyone to be traded away.
But no one criticized him for it.
Because he was saying don't trade away anybody. He wasn't saying, hey, we're not good enough. Go out and bring in all these other people.
But that was what he was saying. He made sure he qualified it to not offend anybody, and Bryce didn't do that. And if you want to criticize Bryce for not saying what you said, it's also after they didn't score a run again, and they lost to the Marlins again.
I don't disagree with his actual opinion. I just don't think the leader of the team should say it. Let's put it this way. Approaching the trade deadline for the Eagles this year, if Jalen Hurts came out and said, hey, we're not good enough, we need help, he would get ripped unmercifully. They would say, what are you talking about? You're the quarterback of this team. Look in the mirror. Have you played better? Bryce Harper can't say that as the leader of the team. He can't. You cannot do that. You cannot. That would be like me coming on the air today and being like, hey, listen, I know we want to compete. We're just not good enough. People here just aren't good enough. We need a better producer on Middays. 100% need a better producer on Middays.
You've never sent a message over the air before that you know the program director's listening? I may have in my career.
You might have.
But
what does that mean? Like, seriously, if I came on and said that, like, we don't have enough good producers here, Ray. How are you taking that? You're not liking that comment.
I mean, it's you. How much stock am I really going to put in?
I can't hear you. I got to plug my thing. I can't hear
him. He ripped you. All right, so to counter your point, I would say that in the moment when he answered the question, could he have qualified it at the end and stuck up for his teammates that they had? Yeah, okay, I think maybe that's a valid point. But who the freak cares? He's making the point, not to just Dave Dombrowski, but to the owner. Hey, John Middleton, we know you'll spend money. We need help. And you know what? That means Brian De La Cruz isn't happy with Bryce Harper's comments. Good. Go back to AAA.
Now, listen, I don't disagree with you, and I care less about if it offends people. What I care more about is if they can't fill all the needs because they just don't They can't win at the deadline. Whatever it is, they get outbid for a player. They don't have enough prospects. Whatever Dave Dombrowski tries to do, if he falls short, then what Bryce Harper has basically said is wave the white flag, we can't win. And that's the message I don't like.
Don't you agree?
Yes, but I don't want that message from a player on the team.
So that's why he's sending the message, and you're still playing the games. But so like Ray brought this up earlier, and it was a brilliant point. Remember before he got fired, before Rob Thompson got fired, and Bryce talked, they were terrible. And Bryce, after they got fired, and I think it was more than just Bryce, they talked about how they were waiting for something to happen before they could actually reset and play again. They're doing the same thing with the trade deadline.
Which is terrible. I hated Bryce Harper's comment then. We actually played it the other day. He said, we were waiting for the ball to drop. Was Rob going to be fired or not? I hated that comment. Why are you waiting for the manager to get fired to start playing good baseball?
That's what they're doing now.
Which is terrible. I hate it. Listen, I'm not ripping Harper for the actual point he made. He's right. I just don't want to hear it from Bryce Harper. He's not the guy that should be saying this. And for him to come out and say, everybody knows what we need, yeah, so there's no need for you to say it.
You need to be on Postgame Live with Ricky, so you can be the one to rip Bryce Harper.
Ricky was ripping him last night, I think.
Well, Kincade this morning was ripping him.
So, yeah, listen.
Not surprising.
I'm not as angry. Like, I'm not going after Bryce Harper and how dare he and all that. I just don't love the message it sends if they don't fix all the holes.
Yeah, well, they better fix it then. That's the bigger point. If Bryce has to come out publicly and say, yeah, they need help. And it's not just, all right, they need an eighth inning guy. Or not like they need an outfield bat, a right-handed hitting outfield bat. They may need another outfield bat. They need 2 relievers, and they need a starter.
And do you expect him to fill all those holes in the next 5 days?
And
4 days?
Do I expect Dave Dombrowski to fill most of the holes I do? Now,
you said most.
Is
not
it
all?
Well, he's going to get 2 relievers. He's going to get an outfield bat. It depends on how good it is. Is it Austin Hayes? Is it Bader? Is it a bigger name? Because when I look at this team, I see no confidence at all offensively. These guys suck, as Ricky would say. They really do. These guys suck.
And this is why I've been so critical of Dombrowski for years now. The outfield has sucked for years. This isn't just this season. You go back to last year and the year before. But real quick, I loved what Ray said earlier because I think he was right. You're going to say I'm not elite, Dave? I do think Bryce might have been sending a message like, you're not elite, Dave. Look what you need to do with the payroll we have.
I agree. Because remember how content Dave was? We have a good club, and
fine line.
He doesn't need to make big.
We have a good club.
The fans had urgency of this team's not good enough offensively. We see what happens when you need to hit against better pitchers. And he was sitting back with his legs up, man, like we have a good club.
We have a good club.
Enjoying almost beating the Dodgers. How many games did they beat the Dodgers? 1. And he was celebrating a World Series like they almost won.
He was celebrating.
Scored him.
Hold on. One more quick thing. Bob Nightingale was great with you guys at 11 o'clock. I was screaming at my radio driving in, hearing him say that Alex Cora is going to be the manager next year because of how close him and Dave are. Dave shouldn't be the one making that decision next year. Dave should be out. If they fall short, are we really going back with Dave Dombrowski calling the shots next year?
Yep.
I'm done with Dave
we
Dombrowski.
Only find out if he becomes elite or he continues to be good.
As long as he wants to be here, at least next year, he's going to be back.
How?
Middleton believes in him.
How? What do you believe in?
You believe that you're selling a lot of tickets, you're in the playoffs, and it gives you your best chance to win a World Series. You could go out and hire somebody else who sucks. He's not getting rid of Dave Dombrowski. Now, if this team falls apart, then anything could happen. All right, there he is, everybody. Bill Colarulo coming up at 2 o'clock.
Love you, Ray.
With Ricky Batalco. Let's go to Joe. Joe's in East Oak Lane. He wants to talk about the – oh, that's right. We combined it. Joe, hang on a second, buddy. 610-632-0975. Coming up, News at Noon featuring Orlovsky, Rogers, and Plaxico Burris. I almost sent you the Burris stuff, but then I saw Craig Carton was involved in it, and I didn't. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Reinforcements on the way. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. Less than a week until the trade deadline. Bryce Harper, after last night's Phillies game, saying the Phillies need some help. Will they get that help? We turned to Bob Nightingale, MLB insider, and asked him about a number of different things, including the idea of Byron Buxton. Would he waive his no-trade clause and become a Philadelphia Philly?
No, 0 chance. He's not leaving Minnesota. If he's going anywhere, he'd go to Atlanta, who doesn't need a center field. He's from Atlanta. But no, it's almost like the Mike Trout rumors. He's not going anywhere.
Great. So no Byron Buxton. If you want to hear more from Bob Nightingale, that conversation on our website, the Fanatic app, or our YouTube channel. Phillies dropped 2 games down in Miami already of the 3-game set. Eagles taking the practice field for the first time this summer. Training camp underway. We found out earlier today that Jonathan Grenard on the PUP list for a pec strain. The team does not believe it'll be a long-term injury. And the sports world still reacting. Big news of last week, LeBron James, a 76er. This update brought to you by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance with Allstate. You could easily save and get quality protection. Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Ray Dunn under your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic.
Middays with Marks. I am John Marks. He is Ray Dunn without a cape on today.
Everyone thought it was like a daily thing. I got like 5 questions today across the offices. Like, why are you not in the robe again today?
Did they ask? I was wondering because we had the breaking news of Jalen Carter. We'll do some Eagles coming up this hour as well. We had the breaking news of Jalen Carter, and we went to the breaking news desk, which is you, and you're wearing the King Ray robe.
Surprisingly, everyone online thought that was very normal.
I was wondering if it got more because it got a lot of hearts and a lot of views. I was wondering if that was because you were wearing the robe and people are like, what's going on?
I didn't see people questioning it.
No, they didn't.
I'm glad I give off the vibe of a guy that can just pull off a robe at work, I guess.
Oh, man. That's funny. Anyway. Yep. Ray he has his shirt on, but he's robeless today.
Yeah. No robe.
You have a smoker's jacket?
I don't.
It looks similar to the
Maybe
robe.
I could repurpose it.
Let me see if I can find a smoker's jacket on Amazon for you. What size do you wear? Medium? Medium?
I usually go large.
Okay. All right. All right, back to the phones after the News at Noon with Ray. What do we got?
News at noon.
News at Noon.
News at noon.
And it's lunch, and you're wondering, what will you do?
News at noon.
So you reach for a sandwich and turn on YouTube.
News at noon.
And my man Ray fills you in all on the news.
News at noon.
And I knew there was no help from Sean.
News at noon.
So give us Skip, Stephen A. and Mad Dog some bad player podcasts. Drive us crazy. So bring it to us, Ray. So here is the News at Noon.
It never gets old.
So, by the way, real fast before I forget, Sean's never done. We only did it a couple times. The podcast review bit that we did.
Yeah. I forgot about the podcast.
I did too. Someone messaged me and said we don't do it anymore, and I'm like, that's right. And Sean never heard it. Next week when he gets back, we got to do it.
Yeah, we have to. I also have to go look at our podcast reviews. Go give us 5 stars.
I haven't looked at it either. And by the way, we have a really, really good pool of News at Noon intros now.
Yeah, we do. We have a deep team.
We do.
Really, when it comes down to it. Not just a good club, a great club when it comes to the the News at Noon intros. All right, let's get to the take that destroyed the timeline early yesterday on Get Up. Dan Orlovsky somehow got talking about feet. Rex Ryan's off this week, and yet they still were talking about feet on Get Up. Dan Orlovsky, anti-pedicure.
You never get a pedicure?
I have never gotten a pedicure.
Oh, it's a delight.
I never will.
Yeah, no, it's
I am
great.
completely against pedicures for dudes.
What for?
You're a dude. You're not supposed to get pedicures.
Yes, you are.
Nothing
wrong with being pampered. Oh, it's a delight.
No. I'm so against this. This is a thing for me.
You're coming with me.
Dudes should not be getting pedicures.
Who am I told is laughing at this? Monica Jay Will? Jay Will? Can we put them up there? Feel good? Jay Will?
Just nasty feet, Dan. Just nasty feet.
My feet are awful. I totally agree, but I'd rather have awful feet than get pedicures.
Oh, come on. They scrape the terrible tape.
All right. I've had a pedicure. I did it with my wife before we went to the shore 2 years ago for our 10-year vow renewal. We did it as a couple. We went. It screwed my feet up because then, because they sand down like the heel of your foot, and then I had like major heel issues after that. So I don't need to get another pedicure for the rest of my life. Like, if guys want to go get pedicures, knock yourself out. I don't really want to.
Yeah, I've never gotten one.
No?
I'm not against it. I just have never felt the need to be like, you know what I need in my life? A pedicure.
Yeah. Go get one. It's fine. I mean, it's fine.
That would be the context I would probably do it. If the woman was like, let's go get a pedicure together. Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah. Other than that, I'm fine.
Yeah, like it's not gay or anything like that to go get what are you doing? Like, if people say that, I'm just like, shut up.
Yeah,
whatever.
What am I supposed to do? If I want my feet clean, I want my feet clean.
I've never had a manicure or anything like that.
Yeah, I haven't done that either. And if someone said to me, hey, you want to go get a manicure?
Sure.
Knock
yourself out.
Yeah, what
2026.
Yeah, what am I going to do? Not do that? Like,
whatever.
Orlovsky trying to be hardo there.
Yeah, and then, of course, Greeny being like, did he say they're great? He's like, yeah,
It's a delight.
It's a delight.
That was like, all right, dude, you enjoy your pedicures a little too much. I don't want to be in the same salon as you. You talk. Oh, it's a delight.
Non-surprising that he would say that too. But like I said, hey, listen, Ray, this is not an easy world to live in. And if you want to go get a pedicure and it makes you feel good, go get a pedicure and feel good.
Exactly.
Knock yourself
Whatever
out.
makes you happy, people.
And if Orlovsky's not comfortable with it, then don't go get freaking pedicures, all right?
Yeah, that's your problem.
Knock yourself out.
All right, on to Aaron Rodgers, who had a chance to meet with the media in Pittsburgh. He's given it one final go. He's confirmed this is it until he wants attention next offseason, but he's confirmed this is it. Why is he so certain this is the last year?
What is it? Why is this it?
I thought last year might be it. And then Mike got hired, and I talked to the wife, and she said, you can do one more year. So I said, well, let's see if it works out.
Yeah. There was a 0% chance he was done after last year.
Yep.
I remember when he signed with, where did he go first? After, I don't remember what year it was. But Schefter was presenting the case that it's possible he was going to retire. I literally put my life on the line that he wasn't retiring. I bet my life that he wasn't going to retire.
Right.
This is his last year. Right?
Yeah, now that he said it before the season, I feel comfortable in that.
Yes. Could he play again after this year? Sure, he could. But I'll believe he's done after this year. Right now, I'll believe, yes, he's probably done after this year, and that could change.
And the entire sports world now believes the wife exists, right? We've put that to bed.
Just hearing him talk makes me not roll my eyes, but...
Oh, it makes me roll my eyes. I'll say it.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I don't know. Just listen to him talk. I'm just like, man, can you retire already?
Happy him and his family rekindled. In all seriousness, that was nice to see.
Good point.
That they're mending fences there. That's nice. Are we ever gonna find out about the wife though? Like, I'm a little sorry. I'm being that guy.
Who is it?
Curious.
Do we know?
We don't know.
Because wasn't he? Who was the last girlfriend that we knew about?
Was that Danica Patrick?
No, her name was like Tree Bark or something.
Oh.
Well, it wasn't Tree Bark, but it was something like that.
Yeah, I mean that.
Blue Joel.
Rodgers dating history.
And that's who he was going on darkness retreats and stuff with.
Yeah.
Blue something. Blue Sky or she had a
That's the app.
Yeah, no, it's not Blue Sky. But it was something like that. She had a name that wasn't like Donna.
Yeah. All I can find is
Or
Brittany,
Denise.
who's
I'll work on it.
Yeah.
I'll work on it.
Figure out who his wife was. All right, last one for you. Plexico Burress. From one former Jet to another. Plexico Burress was on with Lil Wayne and Craig Carton, who apparently have a joint venture in which they're doing together.
They do. They just started it.
I had no idea this was happening.
Yep.
Good for them,
No.
I guess.
No, but Craig's a piece of crap, but he's talented. And I'm sure it'll do very well.
I'm just always curious the allies that Lil Wayne chooses in the sports media world. Skip and Craig being the two that he's got. Again, whatever. They had Plexico Burress on. Burress was asked a great question by Lil Wayne.
What was worse, playing for the Jets or prison?
Man. You're a bad man.
J-E-T.
So they're both kind of similar because when I walked in the prison on my first day, I was like, damn, man, you are a loser. Wow. And I had the same damn feeling every day I walked through the door with the Jets. I'm like, damn, I hope we can win this weekend. Loser.
Worse, being in prison or being a Jet? 610.
Yeah, you know what? That's a really good question. I mean, it could be a really entertaining podcast. I know we don't have enough of them out there, so it's important that we get more. But yeah, like that could be really entertaining. Craig's really good with stuff like that. He's good with the athletes and the big names. And it's a great answer by Plexico.
Yeah.
It takes you inside he's walking into the prison and saying, I am a loser. I'm going to prison. And then he makes it funny about the Jets.
Showing up to the Jets facility. Do you feel the exact same way?
Aaron Rodgers was linked to podcast host and spiritual influencer Blue of Earth. Her name's Charlotte Brianton. She hosts the Deja Blue podcast and co-founded a women's mystery school called Flower Essence. No surprise there.
Still single?
Probably. I think she's got dreads.
I'm going on a darkness retreat next week.
You remember the darkness retreat, what he did?
Yeah.
He went to some hut that was buried underground, and he just had to sit in there. Some little room.
Like 72 hours. He was late to camp last year because he was in Egypt on one of these types of trips.
No, I know. And wasn't he tripping in the hut, or was that a different year? Or he was doing the ayahuasca?
Yeah, there was ayahuasca involved at some point.
There's no way you're not in a hut tripping. If you're in a darkness hut where you can't see anything, and they only bring you food via like a jail cell slot that they slide in there.
I wouldn't do well. I would not do well. I can tell you that.
Right, would last 90 minutes.
Not even. I go insane.
Would you?
Yes.
I wouldn't.
Oh, I
Like,
can't.
Whenever I think about if I have to do jail time, I could ace solitary. In fact, I would prefer it. I'm an only child, so my life was kind of solitary. You have friends and things like that, but I always preferred being alone over having a lot of close friends.
I need to be alone in a group of people, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like my alone
does.
time a lot of times is out, like sitting by a bar alone amongst a group of people.
So you go to well, I already know this because you like to eat. You're a go to the bar by yourself guy.
I could go to the bar alone. If I want to try a restaurant and there's nobody that I particularly want to go to that restaurant with, I would go try a restaurant alone. I'm cool with all
Well,
that.
if you sit at the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to quite frequently, if I want lunch or dinner, I'm going to go to the bar, especially if the Phillies are playing or something, it's going to be on. I'm going to read stuff on my phone. Let me get a burger, salad, whatever. Boom, I'm in and out. And then you know people, then you end up hanging out. Oh, that's I used to frequent hotel bars in Center City. That used to be my go-to.
Really?
Yeah, let me go to happy hour. I got good half-priced apps, and let's see who's in town this week.
I see. I see the end game there. Yeah, I see the vision. Fair.
Mid-20s, early 30s, good time.
Fair enough.
Try it out.
Great respect.
Is it the Marriott in Center City has a good bar? That used to be one of my hangs. Lowe's isn't
down.
bad. Yeah, the Marriott, I think it's on 12th and Market. It's a good hotel bar.
Yeah, I'm a
For what it
Marriott
is.
guy too.
There you go.
Go get some points or something.
And then the Hilton Hawaiian Village in Waikiki in Hawaii. That'd be the place that I go. Or the Outback, which is right there because that was a part of a hotel. It was like the restaurant as a part of the hotel. They were my two hangouts in Hawaii.
They've got Outbacks in Hawaii?
They do.
It feels like
It was a good
redundant, right?
Outback
Like,
too. I became friends with the bartenders, and we used to hang out. And it was like I was an honorary employee. They were my best friends in Hawaii. Were the Outback. Oh, dude, good times, man. Real good times. All right, Joe and East Oak Lane's been holding. We had talked about this. If you're just tuning in, you got out for the lunch hour. Rob Tourneau puts a tweet out, and it makes it look like that with the LeBron James signing that NBC Sports Philadelphia was beefing up their coverage with a third microphone on the broadcast. And when you dig into the details, they're really talking about because they had gotten rid of. Did they get rid of Taryn? Is that who did it last?
She had done it last.
She did it last. So they're talking about bringing back Taryn or maybe a Serena Winters or something like that. But they're not adding the third announcer to the booth or to the table. Joe wants to talk about the announcers. Joe in East Oak Lane. What's up, Joe?
Hey, what's up, Marks? What's going on, Ray? How y'all doing? Y'all good?
What up, Joe? How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, you mentioned that, and I'm kind of taking your lead with this, Marks, because you've kind of lately been calling out some media personnel, you know, the New York fans and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just thinking, like, well, why can't we put a little bit more fire to this announcement team? Because you described it perfectly by saying corny. And that's just when I watched Sixers games this past season, I was just thinking, it's just corny. I don't know whether I'm wrong for saying that. You know what I mean? I think K. Scott is good. It's just like
I agree.
It's just like it's like someone, you're telling somebody a story and they're listening to your story. They're like, oh wow, and it's like, you don't really care about my story that much. My story isn't that it's like fake excitement, if that makes sense.
I don't want to say disingenuous, but it does come off as being a little bit phony. And I don't think Kate's I don't think Kate's a phony at all. I like Kate. I just feel like a better balance if she had somebody else working with her. And I mean, and maybe if they added somebody to the broadcast in addition to Alla, it'd be okay.
And that's what I'm thinking. I'm just like, man, you got to do something. If you're going to have this kind of star power on the court, because I don't know if you saw that AI sent a text to the arena announcer,
Matt Cord. I was talking to Matt about it this morning in person. I went down because he gets in about 9:30. I went down and I was talking to him. Yeah, he was telling me. And AI didn't even have his number. But Matt and somebody the AI knows, AI texted this guy and said, I want Matt Cord's number, and texted him and said, we need you back.
And that's crazy because it's like a lot of people are thinking, like, look, we want to – it's kind of like you're inviting somebody to your house. You want to make sure you clean up the house.
This
isn't
isn't
make sure the house is right.
This isn't
you know what I mean?
This isn't the year to break in a new PA announcer. Matt needs to come back.
Not at all. Not at all. So I was saying, can somebody get a text to Mark Zumoff? You know, he's still around. I'm pretty sure he would be excited about one more year.
Yeah.
What could hurt?
Mark's not the type of guy, and I appreciate it, Joe. Appreciate you calling in. Mark's not the type of guy that would do that. Right? Like, he's not going to Jay Leno, Conan O'Brien.
Hey, don't blame Conan. Whatever you do, don't blame Conan.
Yeah, and by the way, Ray, like, I know that sometimes when you do this, you don't realize that, you know, especially in this world, that your stuff gets clipped and it gets put out there. I'm not trying to rip Kate now at all. It's a very difficult business to do. Like what we're doing. Like, people think I suck. I understand that. That's the nature of it. But I don't like criticizing people that do this because I know it's really difficult. All I'm saying is if I'm being honest, and I'm a 76er fan, and I know there's a lot of people out there that feel the same way, I feel like people are afraid to come out and say that it's not a good broadcast. And I'm not. Like, it's not a good broadcast. My grandfather, Hank Haberly, we used to watch the NFL Today. We would watch CBS. We would watch the NFL with Brent Musburger and Irv Cross and Jimmy the Greek and I don't remember the other people that were on there before that. He hated Brent Musburger, and he would scream at the TV at Brent Musburger with everything that he said. And as a kid, I never really understood it. And when I did an interview with Brent when he won a Maxwell Award, I told him that my greatest memories from my childhood were watching football with my father and watching you with my grandfather. And I didn't tell him that he hated him. But anyway, but like I felt like watching Sixers games in recent years. I do a lot of yelling at the TV about stuff that's not happening during the game. Bottom line, and I don't want you to say anything, Ray, because you're in the business as well. Like I said, I know it's just not a good broadcast. And I know NBC Sports Philadelphia knows that. They have to know that. And I just hope that they do something to make it a little bit more palatable. Actually make it a good broadcast. Because I think they have some ingredients there to do it. And I would love to see Serena or Taryn come back because I think they do add a lot to the broadcast. I was a really, really big fan of Serena. I really was. So hopefully they can do that. Maybe they add a Mark Jackson to the broadcast. I don't know.
You know, I'm always advocating for Mark. Biggest thing I'll say about it is always, and I think you've heard me say this take before, anytime we turn on the broadcasters, I always feel like it's emblematic of the game and maybe not matching the tone of the game that you feel about the game. Like, I turn on broadcasters all the time. There are times, like, my friends now notice it when I'm watching an Eagles game and I start going after whoever's doing, like, Fox or CBS. Like, oh, Ray's upset about the game, but right now he's taking it out on. A lot of times, I'll be honest with you, I take it out. I'll take it out on Tony Romo a lot.
He deserves it.
Yeah. Sometimes Brady gets it a good amount, too, for me. Like, when they're going through a game and I'm like, all right, shut up. Like, leave me alone with this. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what they do.
Let me give you an example. If the Phillies lose, like last night, if the Phillies lose, I want to hear what Ricky has to say after losing 1-0.
You pissed me off.
If they win 5-1, I may not be as encouraged to check out what he has to say. It's the exact opposite with the Sixers. I love Amy. If they lose a game, I'm not going to hear a lot of criticism. I'm probably not tuning in. Coach Lynam's not going to say a lot of, like, they'll criticize, don't get me wrong, but they're not going Ricky Bottalico on him.
Ricky's a high bar for everyone to.
He sure is. That's why I said put him on the Sixers games.
I do think Ricky, and I say this lovingly because Ricky, there's times when he does, like, the Michael Barkan role, Barkan's not there. Like, there was a week early in the year Barkan was doing it. I think he does a good job of leading that. I do think in Ricky's mind, Ricky would like to see what it looks like for Ricky to be the lead host on any other, like, for a night. Like, the Flyers lose a game. Like, Ashland's doing something for the Eagles that night. Ricky sits there in the host chair and then tries to cue them up.
You can just do Ricky postgame live for any sport. It's universal.
The Ricky cast. The Bottalico cast. The Bo cast.
He really is that good. All right, 610-632-0975. That's the number. We've had good amount of phone calls today. A lot of voice memos. A lot of text messages on the Davis Honda text line. We appreciate it. It's just John and Ray today. Tomorrow, Ray is going to be on with Jason Martinez. Jason's going to join us, I believe, at 1 o'clock. We'll kick around what's going on with the Flyers. and talk about some other stuff. Jason's had some setbacks with his health, and it's something I'm sure is going to be something he wants to talk about tomorrow. But I want to bring Jason on just to promote and to say how he's doing. Also, Allen Iverson chimed in on the 76ers signing LeBron James. What did he say? And Dan Patrick, and I saw this yesterday, Ray, Dan Patrick and Charles going back and forth about Charles' comments about LeBron playing, always needing a stacked deck. We'll play that for you coming up next. Middays of Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Are there reinforcements coming? I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update, and it's brought to you by Morgan Star Medical. Losing your hair and wish you could do something about it? Call the trusted team at Morgan Star Medical, because where you go matters. Call 610-831-HAIR. The Phillies need some help, at least according to Bryce Harper and pretty much anyone with eyes watching this team right now. They lost last night to the Marlins, 1-0. We spoke to Bob Nightingale, MLB insider, about what the Phillies could potentially do. Is it reunion with Jeff Hoffman in the cards?
I can see Hoffman. He's pitching a lot better now, too. They're familiar with him. Some people can be gun shy because of what happened, in Philly, climbing up some big games. If they could get him and an outfielder, too, I think they'll take their chances in the playoffs.
We shall see what the Phillies do, and you can hear everything that Bob Nightingale had to say to us on our website, the Fanatic app, or our YouTube channel. Eagles taking the practice field for the first time today. First practice of training camp. We found out earlier today Jonathan Grenard's on the PUP list with a pec strain. The team does not believe it is going to be serious. This update is also brought to you by the New Jersey Department of Health. Public Health works behind the scenes, building a healthier future for everyone. One mission working for you. Learn more at nj.gov/health. I'm Ray Dunn in your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
anytime Allen Iverson's involved in any kind of 76ers conversation, it makes me happy. And Matt had said this on Preston and Steve, I guess, that AI had texted him. And I shared the conversation earlier. I was talking to Matt this morning before we went on the air. And he said, yeah, Allen texted me. I didn't have his number. Allen reached out and said, I need Matt Cord's number to a mutual friend. And then he texted Matt. And he said, you got to come back. And I'm like, all right, well, Matt, let me just tell you something. Sixers fans are going to be pissed if you're not back this year. If they haven't hired anybody yet, and the belief is they haven't, then I find it hard to believe that Matt Cord's not going to be back, even after they gave him the send-off and everything else.
Yeah.
So I would expect Matt Cord back.
He should be back. Allen Iverson told Stephen A. Smith that he did not reach out to LeBron James through the process of LeBron being recruited to Philly. The only person that Allen Iverson recruited this summer to the 76ers was Matt Cord. That's what we're talking about here. That's the level of recruitment that we're getting to right now. So much so that Allen Iverson wants to hear this.
At 6'9", from St. Vincent, St. Mary's, number 23, LeBron James.
I think Matt, when he retired, he was humbled. I know he was. This is even more humbling.
Yeah.
Because now everybody's saying, Allen Iverson texted you and said, you got to come back. And then off of that, the amount of people reaching out to him and texting him and tweeting him and everything else is unbelievable.
We put the pressure on him on the air. I felt bad doing it, but you had to do it. He was sitting right there in front of me.
You had to do it. Well, we already knew that. We had conversations like, LeBron comes back, don't tell me you don't want to come back.
Right.
He would just kind of look at you and be like,
yeah. He had the whole, it's like 5% anyways. He's going to Miami.
He was the first guy. Actually, the conversation happened he was taking a leak and I was leaving the bathroom. He was going in, I was leaving, and he goes, LeBron? And I'm like, yeah? And he goes, yeah. He's like, the Sixers think this can happen. Like, this could really happen. I'm like, really? Like,
I forgot about that. Yeah, he was.
He was at the urinal. I was standing at the door with it open.
He's got to come back.
He's coming back.
He's coming back.
He's coming back. Anyway, what did Allen Iverson have to say about the Sixers signing LeBron James, Ray?
Ecstatic, man. You know, I'm just happy for the city of Philadelphia, man. For the team, you know what I mean? The type of player he is, the type of person he is. I'm just happy, man. He brings a lot, you know what I mean? He really is the answer.
I get chills thinking about Allen and Dr. J. And, I mean, maybe not Chuck now with everything he's saying right now, but just those three sharing a court together where they're doing intros or whatever. And it's like, wow, Allen Iverson and LeBron and Dr. J wearing the same uniform and LeBron potentially ending his career as a Sixer. Unbelievable.
LeBron wins the title. 23 goes to the Raptors, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
You're not getting a fight from anyone on that one.
Well, Bobby Jones' is retired. Mo Cheeks' name retired. Like, if those guys didn't have their number retired, I would probably be like, hang on a second. Honestly, Rory Halladay's number being retired by the Phillies, I felt a certain way about it because that means the guys like Ryan Howard, is Ryan Howard getting his number retired? Rory Halladay doesn't deserve his number retired over Ryan Howard. Sorry. As good as he was for a couple of years here, he doesn't. So, like, all those guys have been taken care of already. They won a championship. So if we have to, if that's a debate we're going to have, I'm with you.
Yeah, 23 goes up. One ring. Not this back-to-back crap that's being sold to you. One ring. One parade.
Yeah. Is it realistic back-to-back? The back-to-back crack. I love it.
The back-to-back goalpost moving here of, well, now LeBron at 42 has to win 2 of them for us to consider him being the GOAT. He would win both of them, and the people that don't consider him the GOAT still wouldn't consider him the GOAT. So, well, look at that roster. He stacks his teams.
Speaking of that,
yeah,
Charles Barkley on the Dan Patrick Show. So I listened to a lot of national radio, a lot of national TV. I listened locally, and on Monday, I would say the most common sentiment was, I'm shocked. This is awesome. LeBron is literally going because he thinks this is his best chance to win a championship. Michael Jordan went for ownership. He went back to Washington. He came out of retirement so he could be a part owner of the freaking team. He didn't go to a team and say, I am going to, hey, listen, I know I've been the biggest scorer my entire career. I'm going to defer to these other talented players so I can win another championship. Man, he went with a crappy team so he could make money. LeBron James is making minimum money because he feels like he has more to give and he wants to win another championship. Charles Barkley said, oh, sure, LeBron's going to a stacked team, and I'm glad he went on Dan Patrick. He goes on Dan Patrick all the time, so these guys have really good chemistry. And Dan brought him on yesterday, and he challenged him on it. I don't know what you have, but here it is.
You were on with Stephen A. Smith. That's why I thought you had a problem that LeBron's always stacking his teams.
Yeah, that's been one of my well, most people criticize him for that. He always stacks his team.
But what's wrong with wanting to build a team that can win a championship or going to?
First of all, let's see. There you go. He didn't build a team. He manufactured.
He built a team in Los Angeles. They were bad before he got there.
And his agency forced them to trade for Anthony Davis, who was ran by his group.
Okay, but he didn't go to a team that was stacked.
No, he did. Listen, Anthony Davis, everybody in the league would have wanted Anthony Davis. Plus specifically said he has to go to the Lakers. That's a fact, Dan.
But you still had to pull off the trade to get him. They didn't say, oh, here you go.
He said he would only go to the Lakers. He said he would, like everybody wanted Anthony Davis. But Clutch said, no, he can only go to the Lakers. So it is what it is. It's a fair criticism. Yeah, everybody wanted Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis specifically said, because of Clutch, I will only go to the Lakers. So you think that's naturally organic? No, that is stacking your team.
But that's LeBron's power.
Oh, okay. And
he deserves that credit that guys want to play with him.
And we can't criticize it if we think it's unfair?
No, it's unfair. And he sounds foolish in that cut. He went to the Lakers that didn't make the playoffs for 5 years before that? 5 years. Now, you want LeBron to go to the Lakers and just say, okay, I have this crappy team. Okay, I have a bad team. I'm not going to do anything else. Of course not. Who would do that? Okay, they strong-armed Anthony Davis going to the Lakers. So what? They got the player. I don't like it. I love Charles. I always have, always will, right? He sounds foolish talking like this. When he went to Cleveland, was that a stacked team? They didn't make the playoffs 4 years before that in Cleveland? Was that a stacked team? Now he's going to the 76ers that has a ton of talent. Organization hasn't won in 43 years. It'll be 44 if they hoist the trophy next year. Haven't been to anything but one Eastern Conference Final since 2001. And you're not going to a franchise that is known for winning. You're going to a hell of a team. But LeBron didn't force he said, you know what? Here's where I can go. There's the Heat, there's the Cavs, there's the Warriors. You know where he didn't say he's going to go? Who can pay me the most? You know where he didn't say he could go? This is the most business opportunity for me. He literally checked his ego on the court and says, I'm going to go and I'm going to be the guy that wins a championship. I'm going to be the glue. And instead of applauding him for that, and I think most people are, as far as media members, and they see it, but Charles sounds like a fan more than anything else. He really does.
Was Anthony Davis drugged to L.A.? No, please, don't take me from New Orleans. Rich Paul, what are you doing to me? Rich, no, I don't want to go to L.A. Don't force me to play with LeBron. This is all for LeBron's greatness and not mine. No, Anthony Davis was sitting there in New Orleans, realized he had no chance to win. He gets a call from LeBron James, and it's like, oh, that would be pretty great. Going to Los Angeles and winning. The idea that he stacks the deck also discounts the fact that all these guys want to play with him. Dwayne Wade had his own team. He had already won a title. He could have gotten fat in Miami forever. And that team wasn't that good with him by the time LeBron got there. But he could have said, ooh, I don't know about that. Instead, you know what? Banana Boat Crew, we're coming down. We're winning the title here.
The decision, that is totally different from anything else that he did. Because they traded for Bosh and they added Wade. And they gave the big three. That was stacking a team with 3 future Hall of Famers. Even though it's not stacking the team, that was different from anything that had been done before. It just was.
I don't really think it was.
Well, I mean, just for the sake of argument, that's different than going to the Lakers. The Lakers sucked. Going back to Cleveland. Cleveland didn't win. That wasn't a stacked roster. They added Kevin Love after the fact. They were lucky enough to have the first overall pick to do it. He doesn't need to go to a team and say, I'm not going to add good players. It's so stupid. All right, coming up, more LeBron talk. He talks Tyrese Maxey. Oh, man, you want to smile? You got that coming up as well. We have some Eagle stuff in the 1 o'clock hour. Also, Jason Martinez is going to join us at 1 o'clock. Middays with Marks, 97.5.
King James is here.
Middays with Marks and Ray. Yeah, you know what I just thought of when I looked back and I saw negative Nate? Is he negative on the LeBron signing?
I feel like he could find a way.
Negative Nate. I don't need manufactured fake stuff like other places.
Well, I just mean his mentality on it.
Right.
No, he's all for it.
All for LeBron. Okay, because like Nate's negative, but he's not negative for everything.
Yeah, he was watching the Phillies though last night, salivating.
Right. Negative Nate thought the Phillies were going to crash and burn this year, and he was right for a while.
Negative Nate.
And he's right again.
He cost Rob Thompson his job. The reason that Rob Thompson's hanging out at the pool that his wife put in is because Nate had it out for him.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, we'll. If you missed it earlier, we had Bob Nightingale, longtime MLB insider. And typically with these guys, you think that they're going to come on and they're just going to be like, oh, yeah, sure. In fact, we predicted he was going to come on and say that Dombrowski wanted everybody.
Yep.
He didn't. You have something to play? All right, here it is. No, it's okay. You don't have to. I don't even know why I brought it up. All right, here it is.
No, zero chance. He's not leaving Minnesota.
So,
if he's going anywhere, he'd go to Atlanta, who doesn't need a center fielder. He's from Atlanta. But no, it's almost like the Mike Trout rumors. He's not going anywhere.
He was laughing at the question. So I asked him about Buxton because there's a lot of talk about that, and he said 0% chance. Asked him about Skubal, and he said that just it's not going to happen. He said it didn't make any sense, which it doesn't. But, I mean, I will say this about Skubal. It doesn't mean the Phillies aren't in on him. I just don't know if they have enough to get him. It makes 0 sense at all. 0.
I just don't get how you get him. I don't understand how you get him. If you're telling me everyone else, like I saw there was a report, I might have been foul territory, someone in foul territory. It's like, yeah, Reed Detmer is going to cost more because of the controllable years. If that's the case, you know what? I can't believe you missed out on him. I just can't imagine you're letting Skubal slip through the market to a team like the Phillies.
First hour of the show, we had everybody saying to sell.
Right.
Which I saw a lot of that on Facebook. It's a boomer opinion to sell. Don't give these guys anything else. Get rid of everything.
They haven't earned it.
Right. Yeah. They either want to sell or they want Harper to have to struggle and go for a team that isn't good enough.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the great take of everything. Everyone has to struggle. LeBron, you have to sit at a place for a decade and everyone has to suck around you and then you have to figure it out.
Yeah, no. Go to Sacramento, LeBron. If you're really the greatest, you'll win the championship at Sacramento this year.
At 41 years old.
At 41, yes. Otherwise, you're no good. All right. LeBron James talking about Tyrese Maxey. Man, it makes me smile. You can hear the smile on his face. Here's Bron.
I've worked out and trained with him over the last few summers. Every morning, 5 a.m., we're in the gym, 5:30, whatever, in the gym, and you just see like his dedication, shows up on time, on target every single day. A guy who just loves the game and is taking full advantage of the opportunity in Philly, and I love the kid. He's I talked about it when we played Philly, not too long ago, about how not only incredible of a basketball player he is, but how much better he is as a person, which is saying a lot because he's an unbelievable basketball player.
Yeah. Yeah, Maxey's got that. He's got the smile. He's got the $1 million smile. When you watch him play, you're having fun, and you smile. They got a good mix.
They do.
Edgecombe he's all business. Edgecombe, forget about it. This dude is a bulldog. He'll run through a wall. Maxey has huge skill, and he's all about being in the gym. That's the other thing. And it's been a problem with Embiid being your best player. Hey, forget about, leadership isn't just about words. Leadership is about setting the tone for the rest of the team. And if you're the guy that's not showing up on time, if you're the guy that's missing shoot-arounds, if you're the guy that's always complaining about being sick or hurt, that's the tone you're setting for the rest of the team. And now you don't have that. And your younger players are all about it. When they drafted Edgecombe, I loved the pick because everything you heard was, this dude doesn't care about anything about ball. He is always in the gym. He's going to be the first person there. And that's really, you're setting the culture for not this year, next year, for when everybody's gone, and he's turning 30 years old, which is 10 years from now. But, man, they get a good mix.
They really do. And I think that quote also drives home why Maxey was so integral into this recruiting process. It's not just being a clutch guy. It's also the fact that, hey, LeBron was impressed with the workouts, impressed with the person, and if you're going to spend your elder statesman years on a team, at least you believe in the foundation that it has in terms of the guy that, again, Embiid, most talented guy. It's been his organization, the whole thing. But I would imagine if somebody needs to speak up in that locker room, Embiid said it before, Maxey seems to very evidently show it, it's Tyrese Maxey that's talking.
Doesn't this kind of have a, I don't want to say a final dance, but there was a lot of talk of, oh, there's only one ball. Is Jaylen Brown really going to be happy with not scoring 30 points a game? So what's come out over the last 24 hours, I believe it was Shams that had said, oh, no, everybody is all on board with realizing what they have and how special this can be. And it's not going to be about the ego of I need the most shots at all. Because that's what you need. I don't think you make the trade if you think that he's going to be a problem. And you certainly, you got to know he's down with LeBron. You have Shams? Don't worry about it. We can just talk.
There's no LeBron James in Philadelphia without Jaylen Brown. Yeah. Jaylen Brown was the guy that led to this domino of LeBron James even thinking about going to Philadelphia. And my understanding is Jaylen Brown wanted LeBron James there. He did his part to recruit him there. And you think about Jaylen Brown, VJ Edgecombe, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, LeBron James. There's going to be so much sacrifice that's going to go into next season. And one person around Jaylen Brown told me today he's going to approach this with no ego. But there are going to be a lot of people that are going to want the ball in their hands next season. And that's why LeBron James making a decision, obviously in conversations with Nick Nurse and the Sixers, to be the guy that's going to set the table for all of them to try to put them in positions where they can score and he can be the facilitator.
Yeah, he's going to lead the league in assists, LeBron. Right? What do you think? 16, 9, and 9 is what he averages this year? 16, 9, and 8?
Something like that.
16, 10, and 9?
Yeah, 9 and 7 maybe. A little lower on the rebound total. But, yeah, that's what he wants to do. At this point, if you have Jaylen Brown, Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe on your team, it's why some of these lineups will be really interested, and maybe they don't go get that, maybe they don't get that backup big because without Embiid on the floor, and certainly, when you go to a smaller lineup, LeBron just passing it ahead and letting someone cook on the fast break seems like a really ideal scenario for everyone involved.
Got the right guys to do it.
Yeah.
The other thing I heard a lot was you're going to screw up VJ's development. Oh, man, this is bad. It was a Draymond that said that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're going to screw up VJ. My ass. You're going to screw up VJ. This actually gives him an opportunity. Like last year, for example. He had a great rookie year. But the amount of minutes he's playing, and I know he's young, but he's not ready for that many minutes. It doesn't hurt his – I'm not going to say it hurts his development, but it's not good for his development to play that many minutes. Now you don't have to rely on him for playing as many minutes, and he's not you don't need him to score as much. He's going to have his moments, for sure. It actually takes pressure off of VJ to try to do too much too early. And I think honestly, it's perfect because you have the perfect guy that isn't going to be worried about scoring in LeBron, and everybody's realizing, like when I said The Last Dance, everybody realizes the opportunity that they have in the next 2 years. How could you not? The young players do, Embiid does, Jaylen Brown does, the role players do. This is the chance. This is the chance to win a championship. It's their best chance that a lot of these guys are probably going to have to win a championship. And if you don't think, and Jaylen Brown's already won one, but this is like, you'll be, when people talk about, if you win a championship with LeBron in Philadelphia, Jaylen Brown's name is now talked about outside of winning in Boston as being on that team that partnered with LeBron to win a championship. This is so big for everybody's career that's on that team right now.
Jaylen Brown could stick it to Boston. You don't think he doesn't want to do that?
That was another thing I read in
that's
on the last one.
That's a part of the ego being checked at the door. All right, I could be the guy at some point. My career does end after this season, after next season. You want to give LeBron credit? Sure. LeBron's not winning it without me. LeBron's not here without me. I'm going to get plenty of credit. And, oh, by the way, Tatum and crew up there in Boston, enjoy watching me raise another trophy. That's the way I'd approach it if I was him.
That'd be something. Jason Martinez joins us right now. He's going to be joining Ray tomorrow, co-hosting with Ray tomorrow. A lot to talk about with Jason. His health, he's taken a little bit of a turn for the worse. I don't know if we'll talk about that today or Ray will touch on it tomorrow. But last time we talked to Jay, we were doing a lot of Flyers talk, and then we even mentioned the possibility of LeBron James. I think. Or was that after Jaylen Brown? Well, LeBron James is a Sixer. Still doesn't seem real. No. All right, Jason Martinez coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Looking for reinforcements. Some raids on with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies have already dropped 2 games in Miami to the Marlins, and attention is turned to the trade deadline. Coming up next week, we had MLB insider Bob Nightingale on the show to talk about a number of things, including Byron Buxton. Would he waive that no-trade clause? Would he come to Philadelphia?
No, 0 chance. He's not leaving Minnesota. If he's going anywhere, he'd go to Atlanta. He doesn't need a center fielder. He's from Atlanta. But no, it's almost like the Mike Trout rumors. He's not going anywhere.
All right, no Byron Buxton. Where else could the Phillies go? We talked about a lot more with Bob Nightingale. You can listen back to that interview on our website, the Fanatic app, or our YouTube channel. Eagles opening up practice of training camp today. The first time they took the practice field, found out earlier today, Jonathan Grenard on the PUP list. He has a pec strain. The team does not believe that it is anything serious. Sports World still reacting to the LeBron James news. We're going to continue to react to it. We're going to get a chance to talk to Jason Martinez joining us coming up next. All things Philadelphia sports. This update brought to you by New Jersey Department of Health. Public Health works behind the scenes, building a healthier future for everyone. One mission working for you. Learn more at nj.gov/health. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the Sixers, Flyers, and the Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic.
Okay? I'm back. So much good.
I'm in. Yup. Winning. I'm a man.
I'm a beast. Who the hell is Ray Dunn?
Is it big?
Are you kidding me?
It's about damn time.
All right, we're back. Middays with Marks on a Sean Braceless Wednesday. Sean's on assignment, packing for the shore. He takes a day off to pack for the shore. Joining us right now, and Ray's here, of course. Dutz, Negative Nate. Joining us right now. I'm off tomorrow. I know, Ray, a lot of people are saying, dude, you were just off last week. You're off again? I am.
It's July, man.
Well, I don't have anybody to watch my kids because my mom's going away and my wife has to go. My wife has to go away. So I'm working Friday because I found child coverage, but I couldn't find anything for tomorrow because my mom's going away. So I have to take the day, which I don't care.
Yeah,
I love not working. But Ray will be on with our next guest, and he joins us live on Zoom. He is the great Jason Bertidis. What's up there, Mert?
I got an idea. I know how to run that board in there. Of course, I did it for years. Why don't we send Ray to the house to watch your kids, and you and I will do the program?
Ray?
Nanny Ray.
Babysitter Ray? No, I'm in. I think Ray would be.
Hey, kids, it's Uncle Ray. How about that?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I might come home to my kitchen half on fire and
exactly.
Ray smoking a cig on the back deck. How you feeling,
He's
Jason?
got his feet up, smoking a cigarette.
Yeah,
and they're all eating ramen noodles.
Well, and they watch TV for 7 straight hours. Yep. That would, and Ray would have a big smile on his face. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
You know the scene from Back to School when Thornton Mell and Rodney Dangerfield, he has to go to where they're doing stuff with the monkeys with the apes, and he goes in and they're like, all right, like we'll be back in a couple hours. This is what I need you to do. And they come back and the apes are smoking cigarettes and eating pizza and watching TV.
Yeah.
And he says, we're just taking a break.
My favorite line from that movie, he's trying to date the professor. He goes, I'd like to take you out to dinner. She goes, tonight. And she goes, well, I can't. I have class. He goes, how about tomorrow? She goes, I have class. And he goes, well, call me when you have no class.
She said, I have class then, too. He said, why don't you call me sometime when you have no class? And she says, thank you, I will.
And class didn't mean, like, actual class when you lose your class as a person.
Sally Kellerman was the professor.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Jason, how you feeling, buddy?
I feel great. I feel very good. I have since I've recovered from my surgery on March 3rd. And I still feel the same way. I mean, the last 3 weeks, and we've talked a couple of times, I've been on a couple of times. 3 weeks ago, I was at the NHL draft in Atlantic City at the Hard Rock, and then was down there for a few days celebrating my youngest daughter's birthday, and went to see Joe Bonamassa down in Atlantic City with my father-in-law and brother-in-law. Week after that, boom, we jumped in the car for a few days and went out to Pittsburgh. They let me in Pittsburgh, Ray, after my mocking comments.
Oh, that's right. That's awesome.
So I was in Pittsburgh for a few days for 4th of July, spending some time with my college roommate, his wife and kids. And then last week, me and my son drove down and met my wife and daughters down in Myrtle Beach. How about this? 8.5-hour ride. We left at 9 o'clock when my son got home from school. I did the whole thing to 6:45 in the morning.
Oh, you did an overnight shift?
Yeah, I did the whole show. And I just didn't want to wake him up. I mean, he gets up at 7:30 in the morning to go to work, and then he goes right to there to school every day.
Yeah.
The kid grinds. So I made a huge bed in the back of the car with the memory foam and put all the seats down in the Conquerville Nissan Murano, and he was out like a light for the ride.
Get out of here.
You down there.
You made a bed? I would have just been like, put the seat back, kid.
Oh, no. We always goes back to the hockey days. You make a bed in the back of the car because you're driving all over East Jabip at all times of the day, in the morning, and everything. So you have I had the memory foam down, 5 blankets on top of it, 1 for on top of you, and 9 pillows.
Wow. No dog in the back, right? That's all you need.
No, dog stayed here. Both of them, thank God. But and we went down to Myrtle Beach. I was down there. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Came back on Sunday, and here we are.
Beautiful. Well, we look forward to having you on tomorrow. I know. I'm going to stop by because I'm going to be in the neighborhood doing some stuff. So I'll stop by with my little girl tomorrow to say
Very
hello.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool.
So real fast, before there's a lot to talk about with you, including. So listen, I've been hearing the Connor McDavid talk for a couple of years now, right? Connor McDavid talk for a couple of years now, and it's been like, all right, like so the Flyers, they've been trying to make a move. They've been trying. I think the Flyers know that they probably need to get their best player. So where do we stand? You think the Flyers are done? Are they trying to make another big move? What are you hearing?
Well, I don't think he's going anywhere going into this season. He's got 2 years left on his contract at $12.5 million, and he was a guy that really sanctioned and was a part of the vetting process, if you will, of Mike Babcock, who's a great coach but a huge jerk. So he was part of that. I think he wants to take a look and see what he can do there in Edmonton if it turns out to be a gong show. And let's be honest, his last job, Babcock, was a gong show. He didn't even make it to training camp, John.
Oh, what happened?
He was meeting with players. He was looking at their phones, looking at pictures on their phones. There's probably a lot more that happened that didn't become public, and he resigned before training camp. He's a control freak. Look, a lot of coaches are, but he is to a degree that is like a narcissist. So we'll see if he's changed. I tend to think those people never change. I don't think they're capable of change. But Connor McDavid was part of that vetting process and gave the check mark okay. So I don't think he's going anywhere right now before the season. But if things go sideways in Edmonton, as I anticipate they will, then they're going to have to move him because you can't lose a guy like that for nothing.
For nothing, right. Right.
Yeah.
So as it stands right now, the Flyers have done a great job in shoring up their young players, really re-signing everybody. Entering this season, and this is something we talked about right at the end of the year, was like year to year in sports, right? Like in the NFL, what is it like? Maybe like 45% of teams that make the playoffs the year before don't make it the next year. There's such great parity in the NFL to where just because you make the playoffs one year outside of a couple teams that are like the Rams and the Eagles, it's tough to make the playoffs every year. How confident should Flyers fans be that this is going to be a playoff team again this year in 2026, 2027?
I don't know. That varies by person, by the way you approach it. Obviously everybody's disappointed that the Anaheim Ducks matched the offer sheet for Leo Carlsson. Everybody would have felt a lot better going into this year with Leo Carlsson as your top-line pivot, despite paying him $18 million. But you're relying now on this team taking a step forward in a year where they won a round of the playoffs. Look, full value for them getting in. A lot of people say, well, they just got in because of good goaltending. Well, the last I checked is the goalie wears the same jersey as all the players. He's part of the team. This notion that, well, good goaltending just bails out. Well, that's what good teams do. They have good goaltending. And they also have good defense to help the goaltender be good. So they full value got in with 98 points. But now you're relying on a guy like Martone, having a good year in his first pro year where he's got to play a full season.
Right.
A bounce-back year for Matvei Mishkov, who, in all fairness, and I don't put a lot into videos like we did with Ben Simmons and the shooting a three in the Chinese national game and all that, but from the videos and everything I'm hearing, he is working his bag off this summer, Mishkov. And he knows that last year was, I think he took it personally, how ineffective he was. And I think he's a competitor, so I think he's going to have a big bounce-back year. So I think they have to take a step forward that way. Now, I'll tell you, too, that when Anaheim matched that offer, I mean, it made me sad. Like, I literally, I was sad about it because of my health situation, and I want to see this team win a cup. Yeah. But I don't believe in microwaving rebuilds. I don't believe in microwaving pizza. I'd rather slow cook it. And so I'm a little conflicted right now, but people will become available. You just got to make sure you got the money when the right person's available. Something Keith Jones said to me one time, said, you don't go for the best player just because he's available, best player that's available. You go for the best player. Sometimes you got to wait for that.
Yep. Yeah, they're waiting. They're being patient, right? And I know this is something when Ed Snyder owned the team, there was no patience because he desperately wanted to win so bad. And Jason, it does feel like that. All right, how long do you have to wait? Now, thank God they made the playoffs, and they do have a good young core. But it's got to be tough not to say, okay, we need to get somebody, because they got a lot of potential here. They got a lot of good young players. Dan, they just need that veteran player to pair it with.
Yeah, I mean, they need it, either a legit number one center or a legit number one D to pair with Travis Sanheim. You need one of those two. I think the center's the bigger need, and if you can do that, that's the move. You got to see how this plays out. Like, we didn't go into last year, we didn't think that a guy like Quinn Hughes was going to be available until he was. The year prior, we didn't think a guy, 100-point scorer and Mikko Rantanen would be traded not once but twice in the same year. These things happen. You got to see how it plays out.
All right. We haven't talked. Actually, I think the last time we talked was after Jaylen Brown trade, and you're Mr. NBA, and I think Ray has some Mr. NBA plans for you tomorrow. But
awesome. Yeah,
your reaction to LeBron, it felt like it could happen, but this is Philadelphia, and things like this don't happen in Philadelphia to the 76ers. LeBron
they
shows,
talked about that they're going to happen, but they never happen.
They never happen, and it makes perfect sense why it happened, but it still happened. So what was your reaction to LeBron signing?
I remember being on when Jaylen Brown was on, and Sean asked me about it, and I said, it like seems too good to be true. Like where's the rub, right? And I loved it, and I still love it. And it became that precursor to make Philly viable for LeBron to look at it and say, this is a place where I think I can bring a championship with the right pieces around me. You see some more pieces coming now as well.
Oh, yeah.
But LeBron, the entity, and he is an entity. He's a spectacle. He's one of the probably 3 most known athletes on the planet. He's there with Messi, right? I mean, there's not a country he can go to where they don't go, I don't know who that guy is.
Right.
I mean, he could go to Kazakhstan, and everybody knows who he is. So him coming to Philadelphia, I think there's an economic boom, but I also think from a sports perspective, it just brings so much cachet to the city as a sports city. And if you look at the teams in sports last year around the country and the cities that had 4 major sports, only one city in the country had all 4 of their teams in their last season make the playoffs.
Huh.
That was Philadelphia.
Wow. I mean, to your point, like, I don't know if there's a bigger story to happen to this sports city than LeBron coming here. The Eagles winning a Super Bowl, obviously, that's almost a separate, different category. But LeBron signing with the Sixers, I mean, the anticipation.
Like Jordan signing with the Sixers.
Dude, no, I know. And it's like, and he chooses us. They have a stacked team, and they have a legitimate chance to win a championship. And he signed for 2 years on minimum money. I mean, it really is, for anybody that wants to criticize.
$38 million.
Dude, for anybody that wants to criticize LeBron, he did what we want every athlete to do, which is say, hey, I'm not going for the money. I'm going because I want to win. I'm not going for my ego. I'm going because I still have more to give. And he's not coming here to shoot 30 or 40 times a game. He's coming to be the facilitator that puts this all together. And
I think a big thing, John, is the meetings he had with Embiid. To me, that is one of the single most important elements of this entire equation.
That he's on board.
They talked.
Yep.
Yeah, they sat down. They talked about his health. They talked about a lot of things. And when you sit down with LeBron and you're Embiid is a huge figure as well, obviously. And you sit down with LeBron, and then he does choose you, obviously the meeting went the right way. That tells me so much about Embiid, LeBron, and their situation. And you can't give enough credit to the front office right now. You can't.
Man, you're not kidding. Think about what they've done since the season ended and Morey gets fired, Elton Brand gets reassigned within the company.
Yeah.
I mean, geez, it's unbelievable.
I mean, then to pull off something like this, I don't know how it's going to work out on the court. No, none of us do yet.
Right.
And it's great on paper. Game's not played on paper. But as we sit here on the 29th of July, I mean, I couldn't be more over the moon about it than – I mean, this is like getting LeBron, like Jordan.
It is like getting LeBron. No, but you said it's like getting LeBron. It is like getting LeBron. It's crazy. I mean, he's going to have somebody that he's going to have an ESPN reporter that trails him this year. This will be the biggest story. He's the biggest figure in American sports. I'm not going to try to compete with soccer guys or whatever. In American sports, at 41, almost 42 years old, he's still the biggest star in sports. Not the best player, biggest star in sports.
Every NFL player.
Yep.
Think about that.
Not even close. No, it's not even close. The NFL sells itself. The NFL is the NFL. LeBron's bigger than any singular athlete in America.
Yeah, he's a bigger star than Patrick Mahomes.
For sure.
And by a lot.
For sure.
Right?
And it's here.
And Travis Kelce.
And it's here. And every practice, every training camp practice, every game, everything that happens is going to be like something we've never seen before with the Sixers. I can't wait. It's so good.
Yeah, I think it's, and I hope it's the rising tide raises all boats. And look, I got to give the Eagles credit here too, and Howie Roseman. I think they're a part of this too. The way they have legitimized this as a great sports city, and he knows if he comes here and wins, like every athlete knows, they do their homework on a city. You go to a certain place, certain places when you win there, it is different.
It is.
We've seen parades where they show up and there's 38 people, and their parade is for a championship is 3 blocks. Here, it's the entire city.
Yeah, and he'll have never seen anything like it. And actually, it was my Uncle Jamie. My uncle texted me and said, "You know what LeBron James on a float riding down Broad Street would look like?" And at that moment, it hit me like, "Holy crap!" Do you imagine?
Yeah, I love the guys like Iverson are on board. Everybody's trying to get Matt Cord out of retirement. You know what I mean?
I don't think they're going to have to do a lot of pulling to get him out of retirement, Jason. Just saying.
I think Matt's probably like, okay, I'm in. If he's not, then call me. I'll do it.
Well, listen, we would love to have you down there, but after speaking to Matt today, I think it's pretty evident that at least he wants to do it.
And good for him. Good for Matt. Like Matt's such a good man. Yeah, and he's so good at his job.
They don't need to be breaking in a new PA announcer after LeBron gets signed. Sorry.
No, it's not the right time, right?
It's not.
I'm just so excited about it, and I'm so ready for fall sports.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like football, Sixers. Are you kidding me, LeBron James? Oh,
yeah, Tom McGinnis
is going to go. Are you kidding me?
Tom McGinnis doing LeBron games as a 76er. I didn't even think of that dynamic before. We talked a lot about the TV announcers.
LeBron with the block.
Oh, man.
Outlet to Embiid, the DJs come. Are you kidding me?
So listen,
are you kidding me?
I don't want to bleed you dry because you got to do 4 hours tomorrow, all right? So
There's no bleeding me dry right now, brother.
I know.
When I get done with you, I'm picking up one of these guitars and we're getting after it.
Let's go. Ray Dunn, Jason Bertitas tomorrow, and they'll be on for the full 4 hours. So check him out tomorrow. Jason, we'll talk. I appreciate you jumping in tomorrow while we're off, and I'll be listening. But I'll talk to you soon.
I appreciate it, and I did put out my update on my health last night.
You did.
So if people want to see that, it's on Twitter. It's on the video for Flyers Daily today, just to update everybody. So
do you want to talk about it tomorrow as well?
Yeah, we can talk about it. Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm an open book. So
okay. I know you are.
So yeah, we'll talk about it. And right now, we are living, boys.
Good. There he is, Jason Bertitas. Thanks, Jay. Appreciate it, buddy.
Thanks, boys.
There he is. Love that guy. See, you got an easy show tomorrow. You got Bertitas. He loves to talk.
He's got everything lined up, too. We could do play the hits of the last month. Could you believe?
It's a fresh voice, fresh perspective.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do you agree with Charles? Do you not agree with Charles?
Yeah, Charles sounds – the cut that you played from Dan Patrick, he was in the corner with his arms up over his face taking body shots.
It's just, what are you talking about when it comes to Anthony Davis? Anthony Davis, against his will, was taken to L.A. because Clutch Sports wanted him there?
It was a hostage video.
Right.
Blink twice if you're being held hostage.
No, please, Rich. I don't want to play with LeBron.
Oh, man. We got a voice memo on the Davis Honda text line. What do we got?
What up, y'all? Karate Mark checking in, Northeast Philadelphia. Let's play coach for a minute. LeBron brings the ball up, half-court offense. You got to design the defense. Who you putting up against LeBron? Most likely your number 2 defender, because you're going to have to put your number 1 defender against Maxey. Your first line of disrespect you're showing the Sixers is that you are putting your number 3 defender against Jaylen Brown, who can clearly score against your first and best defender on the court, which means you got VJ Edgecombe playing against your 4th best defender on the court, which leaves Joel, Hines, and Embiid playing against your 5th best defender on the court. Align it somehow else for me. This is going to be impossible to stop this team. Cannot wait.
Yeah, Karate Mark, you just started getting goosebumps thinking about that. Yeah, because, by the way, LeBron can back you down. I mean, there's so many things he can do. He's never been a high percentage three-point shooter, right? But he'll still will take threes. No, it's a matchup nightmare. Now, defensively, Ray, is where with Embiid and LeBron on the court at the same time, that's where you can't really go small with Embiid, but you know how you go small with Embiid? You score more points than the Sixers are scoring. So, yeah, this is going to be where Nick Nurse, they really need the matchups are going to be really, really important. You think about where we were as 76ers fans. I was literally doing the death march of, well, if you can't trade Embiid, then you just got to wait for wait for the contract to end. We rolled our eyes at Sean when he said to make a call to Boston for Jaylen Brown. Said, yeah, sure. What are you going to offer him, Paul George? Yeah, they did. And then LeBron James says, oh, the Sixers got Jaylen Brown. Maybe I would consider playing there. The rest is history. I can already picture LeBron James on the float, going down Broad Street, waving to everybody. I'm telling you this, LeBron James has never seen anything like he will see in Philadelphia this year. Never. T.O. says the same thing. T.O. played here for a year and a half. Every time he comes back, you can tell it was his favorite year and a half of his career. Yep. He's never seen anything like that. Whenever he goes anywhere, you know who he hears from the most? Eagles fans yelling, go Birds at him. And he's never going to see anything like this. As big of a star as he is, he's never locally going to see anything like this. We are really annoying, and he's going to love it. All right, coming up, we got to get into some Eagles stuff. The Eagles took the practice field today. We learned about an injury on defense. How big is this? We'll discuss it all coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. Let's talk about my hair for a second. Let's talk about your hair for a second. Morgenstern Hair Restoration. If you need your hair back, you can get it back with Morgenstern Hair Restoration. Maybe you want to just prevent losing any more hair, because some people do say today's hair restoration is about preventing it, keeping the hair that you have. They've got you covered. Morgenstern Hair Restoration, over 30 years of experience in hair. They are the team that I've been dealing with for almost 15 years. Where you go matters, and trusting a team with this much experience makes all the difference in the world. So I talked about a hair transplant. I had that because I'd lost too much hair. Bang! Take a look at my results. Maybe you want to keep the hair that you have right now. That's a part of restoration. It's preventing losing any more hair. And that's what I do right now. Morgenstern Hair Restoration. Topical treatments, medications, non-invasive options to help you keep the hair that you have before you're gone. Morgenstern Hair Restoration. Their website, morgensternhair.com. That's Morgan with an E. morgensternhair.com. 610-831-HAIR. 3 locations, Bala, Kenwood, Wayne, and Lancaster. morgensternhair.com. 610-831-HAIR.
paper, this defense, you're going, this is one of the most talented and youngest defenses in football. And if you look at their schedule, it's the opportunity early. You see the number ranking on the right. That's their offensive lines, okay? So early for this defensive line that now has Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter locked up. They traded for Grenard. They've got Ojomo, still Nolan Smith, to really dominate football games. And then there's a stretch there with that Rams and Bears schedule. You're going to play against really good offensive lines. And so I think this has the chance to be once again a top 5 defense. And you're talking about a defensive line that could resemble the one that we saw in 2024 when the Eagles won the Super Bowl and they dominated people up front.
Yep, that's Orlovsky on ESPN when he's not complaining about pedicures. He's talking football and the birds. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say he's stating the obvious because to a national audience, they may not know. This is a really, really good defense. And a lot of it could be depending on, are we talking, is he a good player or is he an elite player? Is it a good defense?
I guess we only find out if he becomes elite or he continues to be good.
So we know the tackles are great. What do you have from edge rushers? Now, today it came out right before we came on the air that Jonathan Grenard is going on the PUP list, Ray Dunn, and that was because of an injury that he suffered before training camp working out on his own, I guess lifting weights. So if something happens outside of the scope of being in the Eagles facilities or in training camp, then they're able to put him on this PUP list because it happened outside of the facility. So why they do that is it doesn't take up a training camp roster spot. So you put them on this list, and when can they bring them off? Like middle of August? I think couple weeks.
Couple weeks, yeah.
Right. So everything that's being reported is it's not that big of a deal. Okay. It's not. It's certainly not what you want to hear from a guy that suffered injuries last year, was ineffective last year, and he's already starting out with a pec injury. Especially because, he's not just an acquisition. You're paying him a lot of money, and you're expecting him to be your best edge rusher. If there's going to be a guy that gets double-digit sacks, you signed him to be that guy, and he's already hurt. So that's obviously not good news, right?
No, certainly not good news. You don't want to get that one on the first day of camp. That was a nice smack to the face this morning. Of like, oh, yeah, by the way, Jonathan Grenard, if you're looking for him on the practice field,
he ain't gonna be
don't.
out there.
That's still a position of, I'll say, intrigue instead of concern, because I don't know if you're so concerned. If you don't have Grenard, then you're concerned, but you're intrigued to see how he fits. All that was made about, well, Phillips, the pressures are there. He can also stop the run. Grenard, a little bit different in what you're getting from him. He's not necessarily in that, ilk of player. Then Nolan Smith, what is he this year? Jalen Sugg, everybody wants to buy stock in him. You got to wonder what that looks like. Last year, they went and made the deal for Phillips. They went and called Brandon Graham out of retirement because they weren't getting enough pressure. Without Grenard, you're in a similar spot. Maybe.
Thank you, 97.5.
Gets a phone call. Who knows?
Well,
who knows?
I will say this, that I've said this before, and I will say it again. Max Crosby's name is going to be big entering the trade deadline if this team struggles to get to the quarterback from the edge. And if that means Grenard's ineffective or he's injured or something that goes like that, and unlike Nightingale, who didn't want to just throw, Dave Dombrowski wants everybody, NFL insiders will do that. So whether it's real or not, they're going to be linked to Max Crosby because I still think they trade Crosby. It still makes sense to me if they can get a first-round draft pick plus for Max Crosby. And it makes so much sense for the Eagles because Grenard's a good end. Max Crosby's an elite end. He's the guy that should get on this line 12 to 15 sacks. So if they're not getting enough as we enter week 3, week 4 of the season, Crosby and Howie does not like to be trumped. And LeBron and the Sixers are going to be taking a lot of the Eagles' oxygen during the week, not on Sundays. You think Howie's not going to want to make a big move to make that elite defense even better? So just keep that in mind. Max Crosby's name's not going away.
No, I don't think it'll go away. The Eagles at this point and it's now, I think, almost every team here in town that I think every management group is going to be linked to everyone. You just talked to Martinez about McDavid, and the Flyers have become that with Danny Briere in the NHL circles. Mike Gansey now has a statue out front of the arena at this point, so he and Bob Myers are going to get that respect. And Dave Dombrowski, from all the insiders, always that's what you hear, he's going to be aggressive. Maybe Howie amongst all of them stands out in the well, this guy's available, and you can't count the Eagles out because Howie Roseman will find a way to make it happen. Like, that's just the stock
They're
answer.
always connected, I know.
Right. We have a guest on from the end of September until the beginning of November, and, death taxes, and, well, I don't see it likely, but, you can't count that Howie Roseman out.
Jason La Canfora, you could have just played a cassette tape of him saying the same thing. Well, with Howie Roseman, he's always interested.
Rival executives.
Right.
Insist the Eagles have had talks. Well, of course they insist. They have just gotten so used to it.
That's the number one seed as far as Howie-isms, rival executives.
Yeah. I spoke to someone in the league.
Expect Howie to be in.
Right. Because why would you expect anything different?
Well, you wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, especially I think you can tell the difference between crap being thrown against the wall and, like with Jalen Phillips last year. There was a need. There was a big need.
Yeah.
So it was no surprise when they actually made a move. That's why there wouldn't be a surprise here. Let's play Adam Schefter from this morning, Ray, talking about Cooper and Quinyon Mitchell. Jalen Carter gets a Brinks truck, as he should. He's a great young player. Jordan Davis got a huge contract. Where does it end? Can they afford to pay everybody? Because Quinyon and Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell's, he was ranked 47th on the NFL Top 100. 47th. He's entering his third year, Quinyon?
Yeah.
Is that so? Like, he's a young player, and he's already being considered like that, which means he wants the bag sooner than later. Jalen Carter just got it. Quinyon and Cooper DeJean got to be next. Here's Schefter talking about that.
Oh, it's going to be top dollars. Those guys are great players, and the Eagles they'll work to figure it out, and they'll do what they can, and we'll see how it works out.
All right. Well, thanks, Shefty. Is there a world where they decide they can't pay them all? Because you think about this. The Chiefs, and the Chiefs aren't the Eagles. The Chiefs don't pay salary like the Eagles do. But I think a lot of this is also Andy Reid's philosophy. If we're limited in how much money we can spend and the owner's not going to pay everybody, who's the corner they traded to the Rams that got first-round draft picks? I'm blanking on his name. Yeah, they trade McDuffie, who's a really good player, to the Rams, and they get great draft compensation in return. They get first-round draft picks. So is there – and I honestly, dude, I thought that there was a chance they were going to do that with Jalen Carter after they signed Jordan Davis. It would have made some sense. If you can get 2 first-round draft picks for Jalen Carter, you think about it because you can't keep everybody. Can this team keep everybody? It sure feels like they're going to keep Quinyon and Cooper DeJean.
It's where's the money coming off the books? Like, is it coming out from the offensive line?
Yeah, but you got to replace those guys.
Right. Well, you replace them in the draft. So that's where they had to replace the corners they paid. That's where they went. They went to the draft. They brought them in.
Well, they're going to have to start drafting them.
That's the concern. Can you take a gap year on the offensive line? Doesn't feel like you can.
No.
You're going to eventually stop paying Dallas Goedert. One of these years, his contract is coming off the books. I promise you. I've been in radio for 4 years now, and I've done it every single year. I don't know if you know this, but Dallas Goedert's getting up there in age. He might not be an Eagle next year.
When does it happen?
Camp started today, and guess who's a Philadelphia Eagle?
Yeah, but it's kind of contrary to what you're saying. As long as they draft well, and as long as Jeffrey Lurie's willing to spend, that's how you keep them. Because the salary, like, if you had a real salary cap and not something you can manipulate, and it's one of the reasons why owners and the commissioner mentioned it, the Eagles just circumvent the salary cap by spending big money.
Yep.
Other owners don't want to do that. Jerry Jones doesn't want to do that. So they're mad at the Eagles because everybody thinks Howie Roseman is this, and I'm not telling you he's not a great GM, that he's a genius because he's figured out, and they have figured out a way to do it. Any NFL team could do the same thing. He's going to pay big money. Right. You got to be able to draft well where you can rip up contracts and give roster bonuses, but you got to be able to, you can't sign free agents and do that. So if you know a player's going to be with you long term, they did it with, how many times has Lane Johnson's contract been redone? 5?
Feels like
if not more.
Feels like an annual occurrence at this point.
Right. So if you know you have your players are going to be here, you can do it. So I think they sign everybody because Jeffrey Lurie's willing to do it.
But you think about it, Dallas Goedert money, Saquon Barkley money, he's about to turn 30.
That'll be off in 2 years or so.
He's probably not going to be here forever. Lane, I mean, they're going to end up, at some point, they have to pay the defense entirely. The offense has got to get younger and cheaper. You think.
Yeah, because right now, the offense is expensive and the defense was cheap. That's going to change, and the offense is going to have to be cheaper.
And they've made some of these decisions. Reed Blankenship,
well,
Houston's your home now.
You don't have, and those guys, the middle class are going to lose.
Yeah,
on the
Kobe
Eagles.
Dean.
Right, they lose.
What's the reasoning behind that?
Oh, sorry.
I mean, that honestly fit right there. But Kobe Dean, like the one thing that stuck out from these NFL Top 100 videos, it hurts me. He's the one leading off every video talking about how great everyone is.
No, you're right.
I'm sad watching this.
Yeah, and he'll be back in 2 years after the Raiders cut him, and he comes back, and they're like, yeah, let's bring him back at a much deeper discount. Coming up, YouTube chat recap, and we'll sweep the text line for voice memos and phone calls, 610-632-0975. A lot more to come. Middays with Marks, 97.5. All right, you can check out the Fanatic's Twitter page right now. 975 the Fanatic. I just retweeted a tweet, Ray. And Dutsy put out the quotes from Bob Nightingale, and with the quotes, it has a picture of Jeff Hoffman. Because Bob Nightingale says he could see Jeff Hoffman. The last thing I need to see right now, or in October, is Jeff Hoffman warming up in the bullpen in the 7th or 8th inning. I've been there. I've done that. No, thank you. You may end up seeing that, though. Who are the Phillies going to be able to acquire back end of the bullpen? They got Duran before, which was an excellent trade. I mean, I hope it's not Jeff Hoffman. It might be.
Talk about running back. Eesh.
So you're going to say, all right, who do you want pitching the 8th inning, Kirkring or Hoffman?
Woo! Time is a circle, Johnny. Time is a circle. We just end up in the same timeline all the time.
God. A lot of people are down on the Phillies right now.
Oh, I'm down on the Phillies.
I'm down on the Phillies.
A lot of people. Did Fangio talk yet?
No, we get him later this week. I want to say Friday.
Yeah.
I think we get Mannion tomorrow.
So Vic comes out, and typically at the beginning of the press conference is when he talks about the Phillies. He's always very positive with the Phillies, but that was after they fired Rob Thompson.
Oh, no, tomorrow, 9:40.
Ooh.
Which, by the way, today, it is the first day of training camp. We are just now getting to hear from you for the first time. And yet, once again, that head coach.
I don't like tardiness.
Couldn't be on time. I get
Right.
how he's with him, but come on, man. It's day one.
Yeah, I you know what? You know why I felt good? Because this is the first time we even mentioned it. It always used to be like I would hear program directors and people used to say like, "Oh, just get us to training camp." And then what? All right, we do a daily check-in. I'm very interested in what's going on. I love training camp. It's not a 4-hour show. There has to be storylines. It's great that the Eagles are back, and we're going to talk about it. But it was nice with the LeBron stuff and the Philly stuff today to not have to to force the conversation.
This July.
It's been easy.
I'm happy LeBron signed here, and I would have been upset with LeBron if he went elsewhere. However, there would have been a hey.
Gave us a couple weeks.
Thanks, LeBron. Appreciate you.
Bro, I was watching a video from, I think it was July 6th. And it was, like I said, for people that don't watch this on YouTube, you can watch the entire shows, but from the shows, Dutsy will take something and put it up. And it's not just interviews. We had a good 18-minute discussion on LeBron coming. And it was at the beginning of, here's why it makes sense. Here's really why it makes sense. And we were all in real time being like, hey, this could actually happen. It was after the Jaylen Brown trade is when it was. And I went, you know what it was? It was the day that you said that you would not drink alcohol in August.
It was the day I gave the 4 things I would do.
And Sean would do the tattoo. I watched the entire 18 minutes, and it was really good because we were spot on with what we were saying. But to think, so we went a good 3 weeks of, is LeBron going to come here talk?
Yep.
And it was fun.
It was awesome. I mean, the end was a little the ending was great. The last week, while you were gone, we were starting to run out of steam there. It was like, all right, we can't lead a show with this anymore.
Yeah, you have to
love me or love me not. I'm done chasing you. Either you're gonna come here, or you're gonna pick me, or you're not.
Well, like today, we didn't lead with LeBron because we talked Phillies for the first hour.
Yeah,
which was good. It gave us a break from like LeBron at some point, getting our pom poms and cheering for LeBron. It's not gonna get old, but I don't know if you can talk about it for 4 hours.
Yeah, I'm not gonna keep with that. Hey, can you believe he picked us? All right, he's here.
Right. And then during the show, you get into it and you smile and you talk about it.
Right. Like Charles Barkley's going to keep with the stacking team stuff. We're going to keep.
He's got to come off it.
Yeah. He won't.
No, you're right.
No, he won't.
He won't. He's got it in for him. But I watched the video and I was like, wow, it's so funny to watch it a couple weeks later when we were just the beginning of, holy crap, could this actually happen? And then we went through the entire, I was at 40%. I was at 5% the day that I worked with Bill. So I'm like, he's not signing here. He wants to go play golf.
That last week we were Miami. This time last week we were like, all right, it's Miami.
Were you doing that last week?
Oh yeah. We thought it was Miami. Can I not hurt myself, not hurt my shoulder, pat myself on the back a little bit right here for a second?
Sure.
I'm in. Instant reaction to the Jaylen Brown trade, that video, and Brace hopped on. Sam Ostry was on with him. Bernard called in from the honeymoon, and I joined them at the end. Brace asked for the final thoughts on what you needed, and it was before the Tony Jones report. The last thing I said on that live was, hey, LeBron, We got a vet minimum for you. You're a billionaire. It's a super team. You could come win a ring. Why don't you come down to Philadelphia? Rich Paul, give us a call.
That ain't happening, Ray.
I don't think there's a single thing I'll ever say again in my life that'll age as well as that.
Well, I went up. I did mornings with Toucher and Hardy after the Jaylen Brown trade, and I think it was Tuesday after whenever it happened. It was like 2 days later, and I had brought up LeBron. I said, "Now this gives you a legitimate chance at LeBron." Not that they laughed at me, but they were like, they didn't take that seriously. They almost ignored it when I said, "And the Sixers have a real chance to get LeBron now." Something they probably didn't happen before.
Them and Brad Stevens both.
Oh, it's so good,
so great.
It's so good. All right, let's get to the YouTube chat recap.
It's time for the YouTube chat recap.
How about filling us in? Let me tell you something else, man.
Watch us live on YouTube every single weekday.
I can't lie. Let me tell you something.
It's the Middays with Marks YouTube chat recap.
Giddy up.
The Phillies' hope for success is always, but we could get hot. And, well, if the other team's stars are all injured, we have a shot. Arthur from the chat.
Arthur, you're right, and it feels a lot like if Joel Embiid can stay healthy, if. You know you don't have ifs with? The Eagles. The Eagles win. You don't have to do an if. Doesn't mean they're going to win every year, but you don't have to do ifs. The Sixers have been a team of ifs for years, and the Phillies right now are a team of ifs. You're absolutely right. If they get hot, if they get a reliever, if they get an outfielder. Could it happen? If.
Sure.
It's like if Bayless.
If Bayless.
The Phillies are playing the long game, strategically positioning themselves to avoid the Dodgers in the playoffs for as long as possible. Tommy John from the chat.
Was that written in sarcasm font?
I hope. Here's the thing. If we want to take that seriously for a second, they have to lose then. The Dodgers have to lose. If I see the Dodgers in a 7-game series, I'm not going to put the white flag up, but I certainly feel like I'm about to get bulldozed.
So if there's like, you have a series at the end of the year and you've already clinched, and you say to yourself, all right, if we lose 2 of 3, we miss the Dodgers, I would consider it then. But you know what happens? That becomes a whole narrative in the media that they're losing intentionally to play this other team.
Right.
Now the other team's pissed, and they beat them.
Yeah.
You just got to play the games, man. Yep. Got to play the games. What's next?
Nice shirt, Bill. Do they make it in men's? MBD from the chat.
I don't know anymore. I'm thinking, do they make it in a medium?
Yeah.
Because it's a small, obviously.
I saw the comment that he stole his wife's golf shirt. That was...
Colorulo, can you hear us out there? He just walked by because he put his stuff on the couch. So I don't know if he's out there right now. I don't remember what he was wearing.
I don't think it was anything egregious.
Let me see. All right, well, it's a pink. Someone said that it's a woman's shirt that you're wearing. Not even the tightness of it. It's a golf shirt, but it's pink. I like it. What's next?
Bill looks like a substitute gym teacher. Idol from the chat.
Now, maybe you ever watch the Goldbergs? Uh-huh. The gym teacher from the Goldbergs, I guess. Yes. Substitute gym teacher. That's a good job. Substitute gym teacher. Substitute teacher's the worst job ever. Substitute gym teacher's not bad. Because, like the kids are always happy to play games. What's wrong? You do. Yeah, you do. But that's a compliment from your wife. What's next?
If VJ doesn't ball out early, best believe LeBron will be trying to trade him for Kyrie or someone else he's familiar with.
Shut up.
Money Mar from the chat.
No, he's not. No. You believe that, Ray?
No. How are you making the money match there?
Well, you can always make the money match. The 76ers would you need Kyrie on the team on top of Maxey and Jaylen Brown. The good thing about VJ is that he doesn't need to be a primary scorer. Right? Doesn't he help balance the rest of these guys? The VJ will get his points and he'll hit threes, and he's going to get transition points. You're not going to have to worry about drawing up plays for him to make sure that he's being fed. He'll do everything else,
and he can defend.
So
if there's one concern with the starting five right now,
you're right. You need him as a defensive player. And by the way, LeBron loves him. The league loves him.
Yeah,
ain't trading.
LeBron comes in here. Hey, Tyrese, who do you like? Yeah, I work out with VJ all the time. All right.
Right. Yeah, and also the Sixers, and I get it. You have to take the short view of this is the window of opportunity. You don't make stupid moves like trading VJ Edgecombe to do that.
We have never seen the 76ers make a short-sighted move with a young, exciting guard. Not once.
Never.
Not once. Wouldn't happen.
Wouldn't happen. Couldn't happen.
Couldn't happen.
Shouldn't happen.
Definitely shouldn't happen.
Coming up next, Ray, enjoy your show tomorrow with Mertitas. I may see you at some point early in the program.
Yeah, stop on by.
Because I'll be in the neighborhood. But coming up next is a solo Calarulo. And then you'll hear from Ricky later on. And I believe Gunner is going to join the program in the second half of the show. Love Gun. All right, that's coming up next. We'll talk to you today.
Now,